building its nuclear program.
They're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel.
Trump also discussed Gaza with Netanyahu in phase 2 of that deal. Ed O'Keefe has more.
Both leaders reiterating that Hamas has to move on disarming for the peace plan to continue. Remember, we've only been through phase 1. It's a 20-point plan. We got 19 steps to go, and the big hurdle facing them right now is the idea that Hamas starts turning in weapons, which has not begun in any real discernible way.
Russia today accused Ukraine of an attack on a residence of Vladimir Putin, a charge Ukraine denies. But in a phone call today, Trump said Putin informed him of what had happened. Security contributor Sam Vinograd.
Trump has said that Putin is focused on ending the war. No one agrees with that assessment other than President Trump himself. So I think Putin is the sticking point.
Meteorologist Andrew Kozak is tracking that major winter storm in much of the northern U.S.
We still have blizzard warnings for areas like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, 1 to 2 feet. The Great Lakes, we're looking at monster waves with winds gusting over 50 miles per hour. And we're going to be looking at lake effect snow for places like Erie, Buffalo, and Rochester.
CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
Parts of New York State could see more than a foot of snow this week. Here in New York City, the problem is a blanket of dense fog that wrapped skyscrapers and slowed air travel.
As you can tell, it's pretty windy out there right now.
At Chicago O'Hare, conditions brought some planes to a stop. There have been thousands of cancellations and delays nationwide over the last few days, with more expected this week.
Travel worries aside, they're gearing up for New Year's Eve in New York City. The confetti has been tested.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Oh my golly! Look at that confetti go!
On the big night, nearly 3 tons of confetti will rain down, a world record. Pending sales of existing homes climbed more than expected last month, and analysts say holiday shopping topped last year's haul. But because of concerns, more Americans hit thrift stores and stuck to their shopping lists. On Wall Street, stocks were lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, the very latest on a fatal shooting involving sheriff's deputies. But first, Nate Connors is at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It's a light commute for most of you out there. Let's start in Gorst, where it looks like we finally wrapped up this road work eastbound 16 near Anderson Hill Road. Our southbound 3 backup is clearing out, starting in Gorst and working its way back. So we've got a solid backup at Kitsap Way down to the inlet. Southbound 167 still slow between Pacific and Sumner from an earlier collision. Tacoma to Olympia, you're looking good. 40-minute trek here. Your biggest backup is along JBLM near the main gate. Here in Seattle, North 5 slows from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. But prior to this, roadwork has the HOV lane blocked at Corson Avenue. It's also partially blocking the off-ramp, but there's no backup here. South 5 got a brief backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. Southbound 405 is thick from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 25 minutes. And the Port Townsend-Coopville route, they're going to cancel some upcoming sailings due to low tides. That's the 330 coming up out of Port Townsend and the 415 out of Coopville. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Deputies today opened fire in the Puyallup South Hill area, killing a man in his vehicle. Pierce County Sheriff's Office says deputies tried to contact that man early this morning after neighbors claimed he fired a single gunshot outside a home. More from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
For Deborah Jones-Allen, who lives a block from the shooting scene, it's another incident in a string that have made her feel unsafe in this neighborhood.
I have been concerned about, let's just say, interesting individuals that walk back and forth down the street.
I did see the body, and it was a good distance away from the vehicle, about half a block. Investigators did not say how it ended up there. Deputies did try to save the man's life, but weren't able to, and he died at the scene.
Pierce County Force Investigation Team has taken over that case. Friends, family, law enforcement all gathered over the weekend to honor the life of a fallen state trooper. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Remembering the life of Trooper Tara Marissa Guting inside Tacoma's Life Center Church.
We cherish
There was love, her joy, her happiness.
Fellow troopers expressed sorrow and grief after she was killed in the line of duty after being struck by 2 cars along State Route 509 in Tacoma December 19th. Police are still searching for a second vehicle and driver who hit her. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
One woman was found dead after an apartment fire in Linwood last night. South County Fire says more than 70 crew members battled flames that spread from the first to second floors. Icy roof conditions made that job harder, they say. 8 units near Highway 99 and 44th Avenue West were damaged, displacing 12 people. Cause of that fire is still under investigation. A first-round playoff bye will be on the line when the Seahawks play the 49ers on the road. Head coach Mike McDonald on 710 Seattle Sports, when asked about the game being played on a Saturday night.
Whatever. Yeah, when's the game? Let's go put together a plan. Let's go.
One more Seahawks victory gives them the number 1 seed and home field advantage in the playoffs. Saturday's kickoff is set for 5 p.m. here on KIRO News Radio. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, partly cloudy skies, and same for tomorrow. Will stay dry into Wednesday. Right now, looking at 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Just listen to this before bed every night. It will reprogram your subconscious mind with the vibration of your desires. Because every night when you go to bed, your brain operates in theta. Theta is hypnosis. Put on a pair of earphones at night and play a program that you want to be true in your life.
Yeah. God, that's this show right here. There we go. Getting started. Welcome back, Aaron, huh? Hey, you feel excitement in there? 4 listeners? Just check with Nate. Ooh. Is anybody on the road, Nate? Be honest.
Not a whole lot.
All right. We are here for you, whether there's one person or 50 million. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wasn't that funny?
All right. John Curley. Boy, my hair looks horrible. Hang on. That fixes that. Then begin the Am I a hipster now? This is a band that Chuck's into. My daughter's into.
Mount Joy.
Mount Joy, yeah.
I like Mount Joy. It's a good band.
Oh, look at that.
I know a few of their songs. Yeah, good band.
Okay. Let's see. According to Joe, who took a lot of time off, a little rusty, not really much of a show. Greatest Christmas gift I got. Share that with you.
Is it a hat?
No, I don't know where I got this. Charlie left me home 2 years ago. Plus, it was on this very day. I think it was on this day. Was it on this day that this thing happened? Yeah.
Yes.
The concert was so bad. The 2 people in the audience, about 15,000 of them there in Chicago, were so upset they sued the band. They sued the band for the horrible show. And then in 2023, the judge is like, the ticket only gets you in. It doesn't guarantee you a performance that is a contracted performance that it has to be good or bad. The person could come out and sing one note and walk off stage. You have no damages.
No.
The ticket just gets you in.
Tuck that away.
Horrible performance. Plus, apparently, do you remember the rat that was on this? It was in the sidewalk. The sidewalk concrete was wet.
You mean the Chicago rat?
The Chicago rat. Apparently, a lot of people that were standing before it and paying homage to the rat wasted a lot of their time. And do you still not believe this to be the case?
You might have pulled me around the corner on this one.
Okay, good. All righty. And Rye's going to swing by. We'll talk about the Seahawks, the game coming up on Saturday, plus all the other stuff going on around the news. We're talking about the NFL. And DK Metcalf, apparently, not only but he got a couple games off.
Yep.
And then I think he's also some other problems as well. Although news came out that apparently that fan has been kind of like dogging DK Metcalf for a while now.
Did you see his press conference?
The guys?
The fans?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got to do a press conference after something like that. And, all right, so we have heard that in Minnesota, there's a number of daycare centers that were set up that were fraudulent, that were Somali daycare centers. Is the same sort of thing happening in the state of Washington? We'll look into that. There's 556 that are registered as Somali, being the primary language spoken there. So there is somebody investigating into that. Will that person come on at some point? Is citizen journalist coming on to look into that? Alrighty. Plus also the Jim Walsh will step by, come on into the show because he's responding to Governor Ferguson talking about having the millionaire tax. And when some of the Democrats that are in there serving Olympia say, listen, if what we'll do is we'll just write amendment to the Constitution and start being able to tax millionaires. Because the way the Constitution's written, if you are going to apply a tax, it has to be the same tax across the board. You can't single one group out or another. Jamie Peterson, state representative, says, don't worry about it. We're going to make all this stuff work for us. And then, my Christmas stories in 2025?
That's right.
Okay. All right. All righty. Let's see.
Is Doc here?
Doc is not here. Is Doc is here? Doc is not here. All right. Let's see. I was thinking. As you know, if you listen to the show with any regularity, and it is good to be regular, I have read that Christmas story about me telling the kids about Santa Claus. Santa Claus and Christmas was so huge in our house when the kids were little, and I wanted to make that day so extra special for them because I always figured this is the time when their imagination can just run wild, and the world is kind of a crappy place sometimes, so it's nice to keep the kids young and as innocent as possible for the longest time, and again to encourage their imagination and to see them have everything that they wanted, or within reason on that particular day of Christmas. Plus, I always wanted to also encourage them to think of others. We would go around the neighborhood 2 days before Christmas, and they would have handwritten notes, and candy canes. And we would do about 3 or 4 laps around the neighborhood, and they would find the houses that they liked best for the Christmas lights. And I said to them, it's important, guys, that you thank the people that put up the Christmas lights because they're doing it for us, because they can't see the lights from their house, so we drop by and we enjoy it. So you run up to the house, you leave your little note, leave the little candy cane behind, telling them you are one of the top 10 best houses in Sammamish, and we want to thank you very much for the beautiful Christmas lights. So we did that for about 2 or 3 years, and then I ended up ruining it because when one of them would run up to the door and not want to get caught, I'd end up honking the horn very loudly, and then as they ran to the car, I would drive away slowly, and then would scream at me, and then I'd stop the car, and they'd go to get in the car, and I'd drive away again and beep. That kind of ruined it for them. It was certainly funny for those of us who were in the car. Sometimes Charlie would go up to the door, and then Ryan's like, okay, blow the horn, blow the horn. And sometimes Ryan goes up to the door and blow the same horn. We stopped doing it after a while. I'd ruined that one as well. And then when I got divorced and all that problems of all the separation and the family here or the family there, I ended up feeling like I ruined Christmas again. So this is going to be the first Christmas where I had just Rye and Charlie. Nick had gone off to Park City to spend some time with her family up there. So it was just the two. And I kept thinking I had to make it really, really special for them. So I spent, $1,000 some on Christmas lights. I put those all over the place. And I thought, what kind of presents should I get for them? Should we make a special reservation in some fancy restaurant somewhere and sit down in front of a roaring fire and eat food that we were paying way too much for? Was I going to hide presents all around the house and come up with some sort of fun game where they would have to figure something out and then find the prize? How about just a big envelope with cash? Or how about I just go upstairs on the second floor and throw money down on top of them? Every one of these ideas I came up with, I said, it's not quite right. Just didn't feel right to me to have my kids at the barn for the first time, just the two of them. And I asked Charlie, what do you want to do? And she said, think there's any place around here that has parcheesi? Some parcheesi? Yeah. There at the Farm and Home in Cleella, and they have everything. Sure enough, go down aisle 7, and there they've got all these toys. And Charlie finds the Parcheesi game. There was a cheaper one, and we bought the more expensive game, the classic Parcheesi game, a game that was invented in India about 400 AD. There's 4 players. You have to roll a 5 to get out of your little box, get onto the board, and then go counterclockwise around the board. If somebody were to land on you, they can pick you up and bring you back to your spot again. You have to start all over again. The games can take half an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes they go on even longer because if somebody sets up a blockade, you can't get around the game. Well, we ended up playing the game and rolling the dice. But before we started, once you roll to find out who has the high score and gets to go first, you have to roll a 5 to get out. We took turns talking about my father. My dad loved Parcheesi, would play it often at the drop of a hat with any of the grandkids, me, or anybody that was around. He loved Parcheesi so much. And he had all sorts of ways that he would tease losers and tease people that are winning or just generally make fun of everybody. But it was just part of the game of having GP poke fun at winners or losers of Parcheesi. Loved the game so much that when it came time to bury my dad, my brother took the Parcheesi game with all the pieces intact. We had to make sure they were all there. And we put it on top of him while he lay there in the casket. The guy that was running Stretch Funeral Home said to us before they closed the casket lid, which they don't call it closing the casket lid, they call it preparing the loved one. The guy said to us, excuse me, I think someone has accidentally left a board game in your father's casket. My brother's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, the shocking thing was, like, didn't he realize it was, like, going with him? Yeah. The guy, Chuck goes, oh, darn it. You know what? We didn't even know he was dead. We just thought it was taking him forever to roll. The guy looked at us and goes, okay, so is that something you would like to go with your father? Or what would you like to do? And I said, oh, did we leave the board in there? I'm sorry. I said, yes. And my brother goes, of course it's going with him. So as we walked out of the room, we don't have to see how they prepare the loved one, but I'm sure they sort of slide him back down again, put the board, keep the little Parcheesi game there, and they drop the lid down. That's how important the game was to him, that it went with him. Absolutely the best part of the family time was a board game. I saw in a study that came out in September, about 26% of people now play board games once a week. 68% of them, when surveyed, said that it helps to keep the family together. It's a wonderful time. They'd rather do that than watch television or play video games. And then find out that that's not necessarily the case. They still love board games, but they like video games and TV even more. So we sat down to play the game, and it went well. I was way behind. I rolled 23 times until I got a 5, and then finally got out and was able to catch all of them off guard. And I ended up winning the game. In fact, later on, I had the opportunity. Right after the game, I interviewed Rye, who was playing the coach of the blue team. Here's what he said.
Kind of an aggressive approach, passive yet aggressive. It was passive aggressive was the approach, is what I'm trying to say here. So ultimately, I like the way it looks. I think the scoreboard today is not going to tell the whole story, right? You look at the board right now and you see two teams that came down to the wire. And you see one team that was way behind. Well, that's not the way it played out, really. You watch the tape of this game, and we're going to get on the plane. We're going to watch the tape on our way home tonight, and we're going to figure out. We're going to realize, and I think it's going to confirm what we already know, is that we played our brand of Parcheesi, yet it just. Late game, we get picked off and gets into a 1v1 sort of a sprint around the board to finish it off. We needed to get lucky with the die. We weren't able to do that, And I'm proud of these guys. And that's what I told them in the locker room. We got them in the locker room. I told them.
The game was over. We went to the dishwasher, put the sink, cleaned the sink up, emptied the rest of a really expensive bottle of red wine that Charlie accidentally opened. And then we just headed upstairs. Rye went to his room. Charlie went upstairs as well. I went to check on her before I went to bed. And I said, hey, listen, I'm sorry if the Christmas wasn't what you expected. I didn't know if you wanted gifts or what you wanted of this whole thing. And it felt like a great deal of pressure. And she said, Dad, that was the best Christmas ever. Just hanging out with you. So I won twice. I was the green team. The green team wins once in Parcheesi, and then I win once again as a dad, just simply spending time with the kids because that's all they wanted. Perfect. Just perfect. There you go. All right. Play board games. You do board games, do you? Huh? Yeah.
We did puzzles during our Christmas day, Christmas Eve.
All right. I feel sorry for you.
We like it.
No, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Eats up a lot of time. My mom can't do the board games anymore.
Okay.
She gets confused. So yeah. We should stick to the puzzles.
Yeah, puzzles aren't bad. There's a whole system that you have in place. Did you get all the colors of the same
colors? You do the
put them in the pile, then you edge pieces
first.
Oh
yeah, it's a whole thing.
And you find one, you feel like you're on a roll.
Yeah, we actually had a new one for the first time in about a decade. We picked one up before we went to my mom's, which is rare. We usually go through the same ones every couple of years.
Okay. Yeah, it is interesting if we're just sort of sitting and hanging out with the kids. It snowed, got about 12 inches of snow in Cle Elum on one night. It was Friday night. And then all they wanted to do was just sort of sit there and just talk. And I was just amazed. Not only did we have a chance to share some really personal stories, Ryan and I talked for a while, and then Charlie and I got a chance to chat later on. It was really something to hear their perspective of where they were in their life when they were little, the things that happened in our lives together, and then like where they are now. Yeah. If you only see your kid, like I only see Charlie maybe once or twice a year, but never time just to sit and talk to her as a young adult. And you realize the certain things that stuck, right, and the memories that they have of different experiences. It turned out to be just really probably the best Christmas I've had in a very, very long time.
You didn't do too bad, huh, as a father?
Oh, I didn't say that. I mean, they're deeply scarred.
Oh, they're
lots of emotional problems. Yeah. No, they did all right. And, so it was really fun. And the only bad part is that Twiggy kept biting Charlie and then ate one of her slippers. But if that's the only bad thing that happens, that's fine. Success. All right, let's see. 1-888-973-5476. Chance to be part of the show. By the way, we will be doing new things in the new year. I asked Joe about if we're still going along with the idea of, is it going to be dinner? Dinner with
dinner with your haters.
Yeah. Should we do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'll take them to someplace close by. We'll go to
you could do lunch too. We don't
Duke's.
Have to do
I don't know. Is that too expensive?
Yeah.
The zoo.
Go to the zoo?
Yeah, I think they have Chili Tuesdays or something like that.
Play some pool with them. Yeah, sounds like fun.
All right, so we'll do that.
About zoo food.
Well, these are people that don't like me, Joe.
That's true.
I'm going to spend I'm going to take them up to, what's the name of the Italian place up there?
Serafina.
I think it's Serafina and drop $90 on somebody sitting there just
but you don't want to get them sick either.
No, I think I'll figure that part of it out. Yeah. But it would be nice to be able to, so that we have a list, because there is quite the list of people that don't like my opinion and then hate me. And I do
somehow listen to the show.
But I do believe that if you can sit down with somebody, if you don't like the guy, like even if you just whatever it is that you think you know, once you sit and you face somebody, you look at them, you break bread with that individual, you can kind of win them over a little bit. Yeah. And then I'll have to have them agree with me, but at least not carry hatred.
You grew on me in a matter of weeks. No problem.
I did. Yeah. Anyway, so that's in the new year. We'll have to come up with a AI song for it and then also a title for it.
Catchy title, yeah.
Yes, all right. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Smooth sailing across the region this afternoon. That backup on southbound 3 in Bremerton is clearing out. Now that we cleared the road work in Gorst. Seattle to Federal Way is a 25-minute drive, which is excellent. Just minor slowing along South Center. Tacoma to Olympia has gone up a little bit to 50 minutes, so there's a little slowing in South Tacoma as you head into Lakewood. And then your biggest backup is a 2 to 3 mile stretch through JBLM, and then a little more crowding as you head into Olympia. Here in Seattle, North 5 still slows just briefly from the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Again, prior to this, we have road work at the Corson Avenue off-ramp. It's partially blocking the ramp and fully blocking the HOV lane there. South 5 has a brief backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. And 405, pretty thick from Southeast 8th down to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton is at 25 minutes. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's a heavyweight fight. Winner of the game wins the division. Winner is the #1 seed.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers. Saturday, kickoff at 5.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced, thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
For a long time, I thought retirement planning was mostly about hitting a number. Get there, and then life starts. Hi, this is Ursula Royteen. What Trajan Wealth helped me see is that the number is really only part of the story. At Trajan Wealth, their advisors are fiduciaries, which means they're obligated to put your needs first, and they start by asking how you actually want your life to feel. When Mark and I sat down with them, we talked about having more time with family, more time to travel, and how to make thoughtful choices without feeling like we had to put today on hold for tomorrow. I have goals for today and for when I retire. If you're ready to start the new year with straight talk and thoughtful guidance, call Trajan Wealth today and schedule a free meeting. Trajan, spelled Trajan. Call 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Iron Man. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. We should learn more tomorrow about plans to reopen the western side of Highway 2 that was badly damaged by those recent floodwaters. Governor Bob Ferguson says he will give an update tomorrow at 11:15. This morning, the state reopened the eastern side of Highway 2 between Leavenworth and Stevens Pass.
And Stevens Pass can open for skiing, which is also extremely good news.
For now, a pilot car is escorting drivers on one-way trips there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Meantime, a team from Texas has now arrived in Washington, helping communities devastated by the floods. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman has more on the Minuteman Disaster Response Team.
They've ventured nearly 2,200 miles to help hundreds of homeowners in Whatcom and Skagit counties still reeling from this month's floods.
Helping one person makes it all worthwhile.
But the work this group is doing not only helps out homeowners, it's also helping out emergency management.
We can donate our time. It's not, it doesn't matter to us, but we can give it to Skagit County, and then they'll be able to get money from FEMA for our hours.
Team plans to stick around after the new year to keep helping with recovery efforts. Check your freezer. Some ground beef sold in Washington is now being recalled over E. coli concerns. Details from CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Mountain West Food Group is recalling nearly 3,000 pounds of raw ground beef products because the meat could be contaminated with E. coli. The recall includes 16-ounce packages of Forward Farms grass-fed ground beef, which were sent to distributors in at least 6 states. The Department of Agriculture says no illnesses have been reported so far. Anyone with the recalled ground beef should throw it away or return it to the place of purchase for a refund.
You will soon be able to take Martin Luther King Jr. Way all the way from Seattle into Renton and Kent. Seattle Times reports the roadway is extending into Highway 515. Local leaders say the extension symbolizes unity across South King County. No streets will be renamed, but more signs will be installed. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:32. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. Dry roads and light volumes is making for a smooth commute this afternoon. South 5 into Seattle, you're slow from Ravenna to I-90. You're at freeway speeds here, so Linwood to Seattle, just a 20-minute drive. North 5 is starting to fill in from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. We cleared that road work at the Corson Avenue off-ramp. Both lake bridges are clear. South 405 is thick from Southeast 8th to Cold Creek Parkway. Then it opens up for you. Bellevue to Renton's at 25 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, Seattle to Everett are both 35-minute commutes, pretty much wide open the entire way. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways, just a half-hour commute. It is crowded in the south end between Pacific and Sumner. And looking at our passes, Snoqualmie, White, and Blewett all looking good with no restrictions. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at mostly cloudy skies right now with a few sun breaks out there as well. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs once again in the mid-40s. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Katie, please put Aaron's name back on the board for the Wilcox Flame Filmmaker.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Took it down for a while.
Just look at it.
There's like 2 names on there last week. We were scraping bottom. We went through a series of deviled egg recipes, I think, most of the time.
Yeah, I think I know which op was the one that gave those.
It was Jacob, and then I did Jacob's recipe, and then we did it again. All right. Don't forget about Wilcox Flame. No, not Wilcox. Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and deviled eggs. It's Home Comfort Alliance. Think of Home Comfort Alliance. They're there for you. I said to Nick, what I want for Christmas, we need an AC unit, 75% off at Home Comfort Alliance. Did I get it?
Mini split?
Bubka.
Oh, come on, Nick.
There's part of the barn where all the drunk bachelor guys are, up on the top floor there, the middle floor. And it's as hot as hell. And they just get up there, and they're up there rolling around the bed, like sweating and throwing up and stuff. And get them an AC unit.
Yeah, it's invest in your mattresses.
Drunk dudes that didn't score. It's that section up there. All righty. This day in history. I should have done the research and done this one. It was 1793. Seems like just yesterday that Thomas Paine was arrested in France. That's something that's kind of that would have been my sort of thing.
I figured that's what you
I didn't go for that one. No. But then I looked up some others. In 1895, the first commercial movie was screened.
Also in France.
All right. 1958, Colts win the NFL title. The greatest game ever played. Was that with Alan the Horse Amici?
Ooh, I don't think so.
You don't know that?
It was what's his name? Hang on here.
I went to school with Alan the Horse Amici's, I think, grandson or son. Had to be his maybe it's his son. He was like, oh my God, that guy's dad was in the NFL. Alan the Horse Amici. Look it up.
It was Alan the Horse Amici.
There you go.
The game culminated in the 80-yard drive that ended with a 1-yard touchdown by Alan the Horse Amici.
There you go.
Boom.
1968, Apollo 8 returns to Earth. If you believe it ever went to Earth and planet, out into outer space.
Moon.
It did. 1973, Endangered Species Act is signed into law.
Oh, you love that one.
Oof. Well, boy, they take advantage of that one. It's crazy how they take advantage of that law.
Mm-hmm.
1981, the first. Remember that? You read that in Ken Buck's book,
yes.
didn't you?
Oh, brutal.
1981, first American test tube baby is born.
Oh.
All right. And then 2002, Creed performs a concert that is so awful that fans end up suing the band. This guy was at the concert. I don't think was he one of the ones that sued? I don't think he was. He was. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's describing what it was like.
Scott came out on stage. Well, first of all, let me tell you that we sat through some 2 performances by opening acts, and we were wondering, when's Creed going to come out? Finally, they come out about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and Scott tried to sing about 2-3 songs and couldn't sing, and he walked right off the stage. It sounded like he was trying to scream into the mic. It sounded like the mic wasn't even working. And then when he did come back out from, when they pushed him back on the stage to continue singing, they threw him back on there soaking wet with no shirt on. And then he decided...
We've all been there.
Yes, yeah.
I had to lay down on his back and sing to the ceiling. I don't think he knew where he was. I don't think he even knew that 15 to 18,000 people were watching him.
So he came back soaking wet, like they just poured stuff over him to kind of like wake him up?
Exactly. They looked like they threw him in a shower to try to wake him up. Well, he was laying on he tried to use the microphone to hold himself up, and that wasn't working. So then he sat down and he laid down on his back, and it looked like he was doing snow angels on the stage, and the mic was, away from his mouth, and he's still singing to the ceiling.
What's the rest of the band doing at this point?
They were trying to carry it through. They're still playing their instruments, and I don't know. I think they were very disappointed in Scott. They were embarrassed.
So how long was he on stage? How long was this fiasco from start to finish, the Creed?
Boy, it's hard to say. I want to say maybe half hour, 40 minutes. And people were walking out. They were starting to boo him.
Oy, oy, oy.
So at what point did you decide, you know what, I'm taking legal action here?
Well, after that, a crazy apology came out that they tried to say that we should be happy that we were at one of the most unique concerts of all time.
It was unique.
It's only rock and roll was part of that.
Right. It was the most lame statement I've ever seen.
It's insulting.
It's
insulting to your fans.
Right. Their position was, hey, think of it this way. You can tell your kids you were at a very unique Creed show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow.
Right, that was their spin. Rather than say we apologize, we'd like to refund your money. Creed did not even honor to make they didn't even think to make up the show.
They tried to make you think you were lucky for being
Ooh, double laugh.
Morning radio.
Morning radio.
He tried to convince these people that they were lucky.
All right, so the judge then hears the case. They determined that they thought it would be about $50 per ticket for 15,000 people, but then they also included in there parking. They also included in the case, they said, well, parking and then fees for the ticket. So I think it was end up costing maybe Creed would have to pay close to like $5 million or something like that. Whatever was tricking it. Was that what? It was a lot of money. And the judge then said, this is in 2023, told the two guys.
2023?
Yeah, why?
20 years it took to...
That's where the judge finally heard the case, I guess. That's what I saw.
Maybe 2000.
Whatever, Joe.
2003, let's say.
All right. I mean, don't make me lay down on the floor. Start screaming into the microphone. The judge says Look, you have no right to a good performance or a bad performance. What you have the right to, the ticket gets you in, but it doesn't guarantee you that you're going to be satisfied with what you're watching. So you have no damages on this because the person could come out and sing one note of one song and walk off stage, and that's all you get, and that's it. Because if we open up, I was reading part where the judge had said that if you all of a sudden determine that it's based upon whether you were satisfied with the concert or the performance, then that would open the door, and every single artist would always, be on the hook for whether or not it met the standard of performance that you set.
Yeah, they miss a note.
That's all you get.
Sued.
That's it. You have people that went to Whitney Houston's concert where she was drunk and couldn't hit any of the notes and people were booing her. You don't get anything back, right? Or you go to a hip hop concert and the guy just ends up just standing there screaming at everybody and you don't get anything you want out of it.
If you go to a sporting event and your team gets blown out.
Exact same thing. Right. That's what the judge said, that if your team loses, what is everyone going to, well, I'm going to sue because my team lost? No. My brother and I went to see Frank Sinatra. He was too drunk to sing, so he just sat on stage and told stories for 45 minutes.
Which is
better.
Yeah, the band was right. Like you have a story to tell.
This guy still has a story. I was there. I saw Creed.
Yeah.
Joe and I tried to find video of it. You can't find it anywhere.
Nobody had cell phones.
Later on, the lead singer of Creed said that he had been injured in a car accident, became addicted to all sorts of drugs, had an alcohol problem, apologized later on, straightened out his life. But for the longest time, people didn't want to go see them. They took a real hit from it, but they eventually sort of came back. I've seen him perform acoustic versions of these songs. People still sort of make fun of it, but ladies and gentlemen, sober and singing with a shirt on and not soaking wet.
Well, I just heard the news today.
Oh, my.
It seems my life is going to change.
Sounds like Cher.
I close my eyes.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Begin to pray.
That's his only song, though, right?
Then tears of joy.
They got
What
other
I could
ones.
name.
Stream down my face with arms wide open. Under the sun.
The video of him singing, he's the wind's blowing and he's in like a trench coat.
Everything with arms wide open.
There's a video of him and Kid Rock that got leaked in the early days of the internet.
We're not talking about that
No.
dirty stuff, Joe.
Well, I just merge if I'm ready.
I'll tell you,
It's good. I'm glad you picked this one.
I'd like to go to this concert and see him just roll around on a stage. Because he said what he was doing was a dramatic performance.
Yeah, and it's before he fessed up to having alcohol and drug problems.
He said, I wanted to lay down on the stage and let everybody be a part of what I was feeling.
So they were misinterpreting it.
Under the sunlight. Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything. With arms wide open.
Look at Nate in there. He's digging on
Oh,
it.
is he playing it with cheeks?
Yeah, no, he doesn't even
Dude, I'm not going to ruin this song with my
man.
cheeks.
Come on, Nate.
No. Don't make him do that.
Just a little. Just a little.
Wow. Did you like that song? You like that one, Nate? Yeah, here's Nate Chicken driving Nate on.
All right, we've got ourselves a traffic alert in South Tacoma. A two-car fatality collision is blocking the intersection of South 66th and South Tacoma Way. This will be closed for several hours. Tacoma to Olympia, we're pushing an hour at 55 minutes now. You're slow through South Tacoma. A big backup through JBLM now, and then more slowing between Lacey and Olympia. Seattle to Federal Way, just a 25-minute commute. South 5 into Seattle slows at Ravenna to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, a 20-minute drive. South 405 is packed from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to Cold Creek Parkway. Still looking pretty good, 25 minutes from Bellevue to Renton. On the water, the Port Townsend Coopville route is canceling the 415 coming up out of Coopville due to low tides, and the Point Defiance Tahlequah ferry route now has a 1 hour wait for drivers in Point Defiance. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan. Presented by Carter Subaru.
The Mukilteo Ferry Dock is only 5 years old, but it already needs some repairs. Coming up in the final choke point of 2025, we'll look at why the repairs are necessary and what it's going to do to your trip between Mukilteo and Clinton. That's tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto-pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone.
Where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It's a bully, but we aren't afraid of a fight. It's elusive, but our focus never fades. It's deadly, but we were born to defeat cancer. You may not have heard of us, but our work has helped millions impacted by cancer. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We are leaders in advancing breakthroughs in immunotherapy, genomics, and personalized medicine. This research saves lives. After 65 years of fighting blood cancers, we've arrived at a game-changing belief. The cures for cancer are in our blood. The drugs and treatments we've developed for blood cancers have helped people affected by many different types of cancers. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Beating cancer is in our blood. Learn more at LLS.org.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you'd say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off. I'd go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you were always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
All right, here's what's happening on Wednesday. We've got our two favorite psychics are going to be coming on. We'll have them on. They'll give the predictions for 2026. And then, are we going to call people, or how do you want to do it to get people to come on?
Yeah, we'll have a few people text in with reasonable questions. And then in the second segment, we'll have the psychics do a little mini reading.
Okay. They're good because they got a couple of cool stuff that when Sherry and I were doing the show, they got 2 things right on Sherry, 2 things right on me. They also predicted that Rye would get a job offer in March. And when they told him that, he's like, yeah, whatever, I don't believe these people. He went downstairs and they said, no, he's going to get a job offer in March. And sure enough, and I'm like, and he got a job offer and he's now on Cozy Radio. I said, now are you a believer, Rye? No, they just, blah, blah. But
they nailed Sherry's stuff. I mean, down to her mom being really sick and all kinds of weird stuff.
Her having
a
weird flat tire.
Yeah.
They got my tooth problem.
Yeah.
They didn't see Sherry getting fired, though.
Maybe they didn't.
They predicted that Andrew would like get a dog.
It's some kind of a dog encounter.
Unfortunately, I am sad to report that did not happen.
You also hate dogs.
I knew you were going to say that. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Because you do. You're the one that ruins it. We want to bring our dogs in here because
like,
it would be good. You're the only one.
I'm trying to protect you guys. That's all.
No, you're not.
No.
Protect us from what? Bring the dog in. If people brought their dogs in, it's really good for people's morale, especially on a day like this where there's nobody in here. But old Andrew, you're not even allergic to them. You just don't like dogs.
Yeah.
I'm nervous around dogs because I'm nervous around dog owners. That's what it is.
Aha. Oh, okay. It's the
What
owners.
does that mean?
I don't know. I guess most of it is I always worry about the level to which other people are training their dogs.
Why do you think the dog is going to come over and like bite you or do something that's going to harm you?
Did you get a bad encounter with a dog when you were young?
No.
No?
I've just had, when I've been walking my dog in the past, lots of other dogs are, my dog will look at that dog the wrong way, and then all of a sudden everything goes wrong.
I thought you didn't have a dog.
A long time ago I did.
Okay, I'll see.
Where's the dog now?
Well, this was a long time ago, John. This dog was a puppy when I was like, how old was I? Like 10. So it was a long, long time ago. So the dog has
4 or
long
5 years
passed.
ago.
Okay.
I have, no. Like 15 years ago.
But do you feel bad that there's a lot of people here that have dogs? Joe's got a dog.
Yeah,
I've got
that's
a dog. Yeah. No. It's not that we have the dog. That's fine that you're letting us keep the dog at home. But bringing the dog in, you know that when people bring their dogs in, people are like, oh, hey, hi.
Right, and that makes people happy, and that's fine. That's not the part I have a problem with. The part I have a problem with is that people don't train their dogs very well in general.
Well, that is true. Who was it? The fisherman that let his dog poop while we were doing Holiday Magic?
Right, there you go.
And then they took the poop and put it in your
garbage can.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
people like pick up their dog's stuff and they throw it like over your fence.
No, we're talking about there's no fence in here. We're just
I'm saying I'm explaining.
This should be your thing for 2026 would be to go up to Kathy and say, I'm no longer going to be I'm going to open my heart and allow people to have dogs in here because I know you're the one that reports it.
I'm not an anti-dogite. Is that what you're saying?
You're the one. Because Twiggy has come in here, and then I get a note from Patty or whoever telling me.
I don't tell anybody that.
All right.
I'm no snitch.
No, you're not a snitch.
All right.
He's a dog hater, but he's not a snitch.
I'm suspicious of dog owners. That's the way. That's not very concise, but that's the way I'd put it.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Fair enough.
Fine. Not fair enough.
No, you're right.
Sucks.
Yeah.
He's the only one in here that's got a problem with dogs coming in. It's the owner.
Yes, it's the owner. Thank you.
The owner. Okay.
You should
You
know.
know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have the dog's going to come in. My dog's going to come in, be perfectly behaved, and then I'm going to poop on the floor. You happy with that?
Exceptions don't prove the rule, or whatever they say.
Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. We've got a new crash heading into Seattle, South 5 at Boylston. It's in your right center lane. You're backed up to Lake City Way. Linwood to Seattle's gone up just a bit to a half hour. North 5, you're going to jam up now approaching the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Southbound 405 remains thick from Southeast 8th to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton's at 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup along the Valley Freeway is a 40-minute commute. Stop and go between Pacific and Sumner in the south end. Tacoma to Olympia, 55 minutes. You're slow through the length of South Tacoma into Lakewood. Got a 3-mile thick backup through JBLM, more slowing between Lacey and Olympia. And in South Tacoma, we've got an unfortunate 2-car fatality collision, now an investigation, blocking the intersection of South 66 and South Tacoma Way. This is going to be closed for several hours. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Hey, this is Sully.
This is Nate.
And we're from the traffic desk, as you know. I get you to work in the morning.
I try to get you home in the afternoons.
Yeah, try is right. A little harder in the afternoon, I've noticed, when I fill in for you than in the mornings.
Yeah. Well, it's the people I work with, I think.
Yeah, that's probably it. This time of year, I want to tell you how much we kind of feel honored to do what we can to help you guys out. Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
From the whole team at MyNorthwest.com and KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces. And trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
The 37th annual Holiday Magic was another one for the record books. Thanks to everyone who donated.
You always come through.
It's not too late to donate. Just go to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
The Mukilteo Ferry Dock is only 5 years old, but it already needs some repairs. Coming up in the final choke point of 2025, we'll look at why the repairs are necessary and what it's going to do to your trip between Mukilteo and Clinton. That's tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself, I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. I'm coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day. That's cvshealth.com/investor day.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
And issued a warning to Iran afterwards about rebuilding its nuclear program.
They're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel.
Trump also discussed Gaza with Netanyahu and phase 2 of that deal. Ed O'Keefe has more.
Both leaders reiterating that Hamas has to move on disarming for the peace plan to continue. Remember, we've only been through phase 1. It's a 20-point plan. We got 19 steps to go, and the big hurdle facing them right now is the idea that Hamas starts turning in weapons, which has not begun in any real discernible way.
Russia today accused Ukraine of an attack on a residence of Vladimir Putin, a charge Ukraine denies. But in a phone call today, Trump said Putin informed him of what had happened. Security contributor Sam Vinograd.
Trump has said that Putin is focused on ending the war. No one agrees with that assessment other than President Trump himself. So I think Putin is a sticking point.
Meteorologist Andrew Kozak is tracking that major winter storm in much of the northern U.S.
We still have blizzard warnings for areas like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, 1 to 2 feet. The Great Lakes, we're looking at monster waves with winds gusting over 50 miles per hour. And we're going to be looking at lake effect snow for places like Erie, Buffalo, and Rochester.
CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
Parts of New York State could see more than a foot of snow this week. Here in New York City, the problem is a blanket of dense fog that wrapped skyscrapers and slowed air travel.
As you can tell, it's pretty windy out there right now.
At Chicago O'Hare, conditions brought some planes to a stop. There have been thousands of cancellations and delays nationwide over the last few days, with more expected this week.
Travel worries aside, they're gearing up for New Year's Eve in New York City. The confetti has been tested.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Oh my golly! Look at that confetti go!
On the big night, nearly 3 tons of confetti will rain down, a world record. Pending sales of existing homes climbed more than expected last month, and analysts say holiday shopping topped last year's haul. But because of concerns, more Americans hit thrift stores and stuck to their shopping lists. On Wall Street, stocks were lower. This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
Trial set for a suspect in a brutal random attack in downtown Seattle. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thank you, Aaron. We quickly cleared our collision. South 5 at Boylston here in Seattle. You're backed up to Lake City Way. Linwood to Seattle, plan on a half hour. North 5 jams up approaching the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Very typical. Both of our lake bridges are wide open. Southbound 405 is thick at Southeast 8th and Bellevue to Cold Creek Parkway. Plan on 25 minutes from Bellevue into Renton. Seattle to Federal Way is a half-hour commute. You're slow along South Center. By the time you hit South 200th, you're in the clear. Tacoma to Olympia at 55 minutes. We're slow through South Tacoma. You got a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup through JBLM. More slowing between Lacey and Olympia. And we've got an update on our traffic alert in South Tacoma. This 2-car fatality investigation is blocking all southbound lanes on South Tacoma Way at South 66th. The rest of that intersection has reopened. These lanes will be closed for the next few hours. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. back. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A judge now says the man accused of a brutal attack on a 75-year-old woman in downtown Seattle is competent to stand trial. Prosecutors say 42-year-old Fale Peya hit that woman in the face with a wooden board that had a metal screw sticking out, gouging the victim's eye. Police body camera video showing officers suspected Peya was responsible.
He's a regular. He usually punches. I guess today he decided to escalate things way worse than his usual.
The assault happened earlier this month along 3rd Avenue near the King County Courthouse. Peya pleaded not guilty after a mental health evaluation cleared him for trial. At least 3 Pierce County Sheriff's deputies were involved in a fatal shooting early this morning in the Puyallup South Hill area. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Just after 2 a.m. Monday morning in the Puyallup South Hill area, spokesperson Carly Capetto says deputies approached a man sleeping in his vehicle after neighbors claim he fired a single gunshot outside their home.
Deputies attempted contact with the male inside the vehicle and shortly later called out shots had been fired.
Capetto says the suspect later died. No deputies were injured. The Pierce County Force Investigation Team has now taken over the case. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
First responders in Linwood recovered a woman's body last night after an apartment complex caught fire. South County Fire says more than 70 firefighters responded as the flames spread from the first to the second floors. They say icy conditions on the roof made it difficult to tackle that fire. 20 people, including 10 kids, were displaced at the complex near Highway 99 and 44th Avenue West. The cause of that fire remains under investigation. One more win for the Seahawks. They earn a first-round bye in the playoffs. Coach Mike McDonald tells 710 Seattle Sports.
It kind of is what it is. It's like we got to worry about that after. That's like a results process type of thing.
Hawks need to beat the 49ers on the road to get the number 1 seed and home field advantage through the playoffs. It's a Saturday night kickoff at 5 o'clock here on KIRO News Radio. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are looking at partly cloudy skies tonight and again for tomorrow. Staying dry, though, with temperatures in the mid-40s. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Just listen to this before bed every night. It will reprogram your subconscious mind with the vibration of your desires.
That's right.
Because every night when you go to bed, your brain operates in theta.
Yes.
Theta is hypnosis.
Yes.
Put on a pair of earphones at night and play a program that you want to be true in your life.
Hey there, it's Sue Bell in Palm Beach.
No.
My goodness, but you are handsome. The gods blessed you. Look at those eyes. They're just wonderful.
Thank you, Sue. Diving in the Here we go with the John Curley Show. For the 4 people that are listening, this is the weirdest part of the holiday, right? After Christmas Day, and then you get this sort of weird, you don't even know what day it is. Like, what is today? Is this Monday? Fun. I have to go to work. Nate says no, he's out on the road. Even Aaron's kind of phoning it in.
What
totally.
are we doing here?
I don't know. Come on now. Be a professional now. All right, let's play the long version. Here he comes.
Talking sports with Rod. He's your go-to guy for any game or feat of athleticism. Talking sports with Rod. Give the guy a try, although he only got his job from nepotism. He'll tell you the score, holding it 2x4, and have the crowd cheering, begging, asking him for more. Yeah, we're talking sports with Rod.
Yeah. All right, Rod Roller, how are you, my friend?
Good.
Good. Okay, we don't get a chance to see you. Where is he? Where is he? Joe?
Hang on.
I don't see his face. He's my kid. My very... there he is. All right, okay. Before we talk football, just want to go through, I know that you lost on Saturday or on Christmas night, a game of Parcheesi. And
yes,
I knew you took it pretty hard, but again, you take each game as it comes. Here you are as the coach of the blue team.
Kind of an aggressive approach, passive yet aggressive. It was passive aggressive was the approach, is what I'm trying to say here. So ultimately, I like the way it looks. I think the scoreboard today is not going to tell the whole story, right? You look at the board right now and you see two teams that came down to the wire. And you see one team that was way behind. Well, it's not the way it played out, really. Right? You watch the tape of this game, and we're going to get on the plane. We're going to watch the tape on our way home tonight, and we're going to figure out. We're going to realize, and I think it's going to confirm what we already know, is that we played our brand of Parcheesi, yet it just. Late game, we get picked off and gets into a 1v1 sort of a sprint around the board to finish it off. We needed to get lucky with the die, and we weren't able to do that, And I'm proud of these guys. And that's what I told them in the locker room. We got them in the locker room. I told them.
There we go. All right. So the loss against the green team and the yellow team in Parcheesi, but still, you guys are coming back to play again. Let's talk some football. The Seahawks 13-3, taking on the Panthers. Struggling as they were, Sam had a chance to go back and play against his former team. Your reactions to the game, Rye?
It was a very familiar act from the Seahawks yesterday. The offense sort of sputters and skips to start the game. Looks kind of, out of sorts, disjointed, if you will, where it's like, are we really getting stopped? Is it a lot of stuff they're doing? Or is it just we kind of can't stretch our legs here? But then in the second half, we play like perfect offensive football. After throwing a pick to start the half, we score 2 touchdowns and a field goal, then another touchdown, and that pretty much did it. Defensively, we made the Carolina Panthers offense irrelevant in that game. Bryce Young, 54 yards passing.
That's right.
They only had 99 total yards on the ground. Incredible defensive effort. And I think watching this Seattle team play defense, it's different from the Legion of Boom, and it's different from other great defenses. Like, this team, they do give up yards, and there will be open receivers. And it's not like you're going to have that lockdown coverage of like Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas, and then the Brendan Browner era, right? They do give up yards here and there. But what does jump out, watching this defense play, why they're so good, everybody is so athletic and they tackle so well. Like, as soon as someone catches the ball, if a receiver catches the ball in the flat or it's a little check down, there is like 3 Seahawks there immediately. And if there's only one, the guy usually makes the tackle. They're so fast. Almost every player on this team can drop out and cover and play like rangy sideline to sideline. They're so fun to watch. And our front four is amazing. DeMarcus Lawrence, who is sort of an elder statesman, but has been incredible this year. And a Pro Bowler, played well yesterday, a couple of sacks and a fumble recovery. So, a good game. The Panthers they knocked off the Rams at home, and they have other big wins. And they had a lot to play for yesterday. They had big dreams. But Seattle delivered a nightmare.
And this sets us up for San Francisco. So San Francisco will play on Sunday, and they keep saying, well, they have a quick turnaround. I don't think it's that quick. They're going to be playing Saturday, 8 o'clock East Coast time, as the Seahawks will travel to play San Francisco 49ers. And they've got a couple injuries, but playing there in San Francisco, what are some of the challenges that the Seahawks will be facing?
Everything is going to be a challenge. This is going to be so. Oh my God, the Niners.
Wait a minute, they don't have it. Their defense. If you look at just pure stats, their defense has not gotten in there, created a lot of sacks or a lot of disruptions in the backfield. They don't have the kind of pressure that you would think they would have. Kittle may be out, and I know that you don't like him as a person, but you do admire him as a player.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about their defense. Because our offense is a one-trick pony. Our offense is kind of stale. All we have is a play-action drop-back game, and everything else is below average. We are a 13-3 football team. We should have a more dynamic offense than we do. I think it ultimately will be our demise into the playoffs. It's just that it has been 16 weeks of this, and it's really getting ridiculous. Like, okay, Zach Charbonnet had a good day on the ground yesterday, 100 yards, right? But it's like no part of that really seemed like we turned a corner. It's been the same thing. We haven't been able to fix the things that we've needed to fix going through this year. We don't run block well enough, right? Sam Darnold is not inspiring a lot of hope. Okay, everybody's still shaky with him, and he's gonna give it up. He gets shaky, dropping back, his feet go all crazy, and he throws the ball to the other team, right? It's I think this offense I just don't have enough faith in. And then I watched the Niners last night. They scored 42 points. They've only punted like 2 times in the last month.
Yeah.
And Shanahan is in a total groove play calling. It is so amazing. I wish they weren't in the NFC West because I hate the Niners, but I really have a respect for the way they play offensive football. When he's in a groove like this, calling plays, and the runs are so beautiful, the way he ties sort of the old school West Coast offense into the new school motion and sort of formation techniques and moving people and inserting guys into the certain gaps and, leveraging and straining certain defenders. Oh, it's just so pretty. They scored 42 points last night. And they've lost their whole team. Their whole team is lost to injury, and it hasn't even mattered. So I think the Niners are better than the Seahawks, and I think the Rams are better than the Seahawks. And the only way we're going to beat a team like that is if, A, we do fix those issues that we haven't been able to fix in 4 months, or the way we beat the Rams last week, some fluky game where we rely on like special teams plays and lucky bounces.
Because Walker carried the ball 15 times for 51 yards. That's not offense.
Well, Charbonnet had 110.
Yes. Right, 110. 18 carries for 110.
And that's exceptionally rare this year.
Yes.
From Seattle. And it's so annoying watching them run the ball. I don't know what Kubiak is doing with some of these play calls. It's like, I know they rep it a million times and they have so much time on task, but like every single week, it's the same concepts that they're calling that they just cannot get right. Like they're not blocking linebackers. They're missing reach blocks. Defensive linemen are in the backfield. And you feel bad for Kenneth Walker. He gets the handoff, and immediately there's like 3 defenders in his lap. And I was like, what's he going to do?
Yeah.
So that just hasn't been fixed all year. And that's fine. Like, we'll get next year. I know I hate to say that. Wow. But next year, right, like there will be improvements. And we'll probably find a better right guard. And Anthony Bradford can, go work, wherever, West Lock. And then, Gray Zabel will be better because he'll have another offseason as a rookie. Like, it will be a better team. But this year, the issues, we just haven't been able to fix them. And I think it'll cost us.
Don't you think?
And it'll cost us this week. I think we lose to the Niners. And we might win a game in the playoffs. But this isn't the horse here, folks.
Save
your money.
Wow. The Seahawks have been, ever since you were 4 years old, the Seahawks have been plagued by an offensive line that often seems to have other things on their mind other than blocking. We've been to so many games, watched so many games, and you're like, and now with your knowledge of the game, you're watching it, you're like, find the blocks, right? Are you blocking the A, the B? Are you moving? You're pulling. Who has the linebacker? It seems like this has always been the case for the Seahawks. And you think, okay, in the offseason, they're going to finally start drafting offensive linemen that actually are able to not jump before the snap and not miss blocks, right? Isn't this always been the case for this team?
Yeah, I will give this unit in particular a lot more credit than the other ones in the past that you're mentioning. These guys they pass block pretty well, and they have been able to sort out. They're good at picking up stunts, and overall they pass block well. I got to give them that credit because I remember those Russell Wilson teams. It's like we couldn't run offense. It was like we couldn't even call a pass play.
Who was your favorite every time there'd be a flag for offsides?
Oh, well, you had Jermaine Ifedi, that big right tackle, a big elephant of a man. Stone Feet Fetty. And then J.R. Sweezy, who was on the Super Bowl team, so he gets a little bit of a pass, but God, he was just a rat. And then who else? God.
Have you ever to see Fetty anywhere? Because I know that you ran into a guy that you did not like, who was the, I guess he was the closer coming in for the Mariners. You ran into him in Florida, and you weren't a big fan of his, but you did go up and talk to him. If you were to see, remember that moment?
Yeah. If I were to see Jermaine Ifedi, I think is 6'7" and like 400 pounds.
Okay.
So I would not say anything.
But you did.
I would recognize him. I'd be like, hey, I'm a big Seahawks fan.
And leave it at that.
And he would know what I was getting at.
Okay, sure.
I have a question that just came in on the text line for you. From Jessie B. She says, Rye, do the officials get a locker room talk during halftime? The Hubs and I were wondering when watching the game yesterday, or that it seemed that they called the game much better in the second half.
Yeah. Oh, that does bring me to one thing. I didn't like. Ultimately, I thought the officials were sort of not super involved in this game. The giant call was the face mask on Jackson Smith-Njigba, or committed against Jackson Smith-Njigba. The Panthers were kind of coming back in that game. They had some momentum. They scored a touchdown. Great crowd, by the way, in Carolina. Just crazy. It's been 10 years since that city has had any attendance this time of year. And they're coming back, and we're in a third and very long. I believe it was 3rd and 30, maybe a 3rd and 25. And we run a little check down screenplay to Smith-Njigba. He's heading out of bounds. We're punting the ball. We've waved the white flag on the drive. And J.C. Horn, their corner, sort of sticks his hand up, doesn't really grab the face mask, but gets his hand a little too high. And
the head turn was enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So JSN kind of sold it. And that was that pretty much ended the game. It gave us an automatic first down, huge field position implications. We were able to score, and that pretty much did it. But if we're punting, who knows how that game plays out? Yeah, I thought they were okay. I didn't think it was – I hated the pass interference or the illegal contact on the near sideline in the first half. But overall, people are always going to shoehorn in ref talk. We won by 17,
But do they? So the question is, do they all get together during the break and I guess eat orange slices, and then do they all talk? Hey guys, we're kind of missing a few, or let's get back in this game. What did you mean that they seemed like they weren't in the game in the first half?
Well, there just weren't a whole lot of impactful calls, meaningful calls in the first half. I don't know. Maybe I have no idea what the refs do at halftime.
They probably if they made an egregious call, they probably got a call from New York or wherever saying, hey.
They do have meetings on Monday where they all get together. Those are secret meetings and nobody's allowed to attend them, and I guess they review things. And then if certain refs miss a certain number of them, they don't get chosen to go into the playoffs and play in the playoffs. You get the best of the best, I assume, at that point, right?
Yeah, they're definitely aware of the missed calls. I would imagine, they probably run into the locker room and go, okay, I'm seeing this, maybe 76, their left tackle is getting a little close with the holding calls, or, he's a little low on this, watch for this, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Halftime adjustments for refs. That's an interesting
That is an interesting question. Here comes your chance to predict, right? As the Seahawks taking on the 49ers. What will the final score be?
L for the Hawks.
Big L for the Hawks.
Yeah. But it doesn't really super matter. I mean, I'm not a one-seed fiend like some of these other people. I don't want to duck and dodge my way into the Super Bowl. That's not how this works.
No.
We got to play whoever we got to play.
Yeah.
We lose. 31-17.
Ooh, wow. 17. All right.
And it's not even that close.
Wow.
Unlike the Parcheesi game.
Thank you, Rye Roller. Talk to you soon. You sound better.
Feel better.
All right. There he goes. Rye Roller out the door. Thank you, Rye. Checking Nate with traffic, Nathan.
Light volumes this afternoon. Heading into Seattle, South 5 jams up in the U District. I-90, North 5. You're thick at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. These are just minor, brief backups. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett both look great, taking just a half hour. South 405 is packed from Southeast 8th to Cold Creek Parkway. Seattle to Federal Way is at 25 minutes. Still slow along South Center. Tacoma to Olympia, a 50-minute commute. We've got 1 hour wait for drivers at the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal and a 1 hour wait for drivers at the Mukilteo Terminal. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's a heavyweight fight. Winner of the game wins the division. Winner is the number 1 seed.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers. Saturday, kickoff at 5.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorrelConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets the Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Flood victims are getting help in Skagit County, where officials have now set up some new disaster assistance centers. KIRO 7 TV speaking with the mayor of Hamilton, Mandy Bates. She owns a small restaurant there that was damaged.
Some are saying like they put in their claim number and then, it's booting them back out of the system. So it's just, you just got to have patience. Some say that they're stuck on the phone for 2 hours, but I get it because again, we're not the only people that got affected. So you just got to have patience.
County and state agencies, including the insurance commissioner, say they are working to guide flood victims to available resources. Meantime, some relief for drivers on US 2 as the state has partially reopened that highway. Governor Bob Ferguson says the eastern side is open between Leavenworth and Stevens Pass.
We understand, though, that access, even if limited access, is extremely important.
For now, a pilot car is escorting drivers on one-way trips from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Governor plans to give an update tomorrow at 11:15 on plans to reopen the west side of Highway 2. President Trump today met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. The two leaders say they had a productive discussion at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports the president also made renewed threats against Hamas and Iran.
That if Iran starts building up its ballistic missile supplies again, and there's concrete evidence of that, then the United States supports Israel striking again, and as you heard the president say, perhaps even bigger than last time. From that attack over the summer.
He also called on Hamas to disarm for that peace plan in Gaza to succeed. Russia says Ukraine tried to target President Putin's residence with drones. CBS's Stacey Lynn has more.
The White House says President Trump spoke by phone with Russian President Putin this morning. While it didn't provide details of the conversation, Russia says Putin brought up the attack and says President Trump was, quote, shocked and outraged. Putin added that Kyiv's actions would not go unanswered.
Ukraine has denied those claims. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:32 with Nate Connors.
All right, not much to slow you down this afternoon. We're looking at light volumes around the sound. Heading into Seattle, South 5 is slow from the U District to I-90, and North 5 slows at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Southbound 405 looking good. Really, the only thing in your way along the entire stretch from north to south is a thick backup from Southeast 8th. They're in Bellevue to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, a 25-minute drive. It's slow now from interurban down to 516, but you're doing freeway speeds here. Renton to Puyallup along the Valley Freeway is at 35 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, a 50-minute commute. Still got a 1-hour wait for drivers at the Point Defiance Terminal and a 1-hour wait for drivers at the Mukilteo Terminal. Other than that, it's looking really good. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are looking at some cloudy skies tonight. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, but staying dry with highs once again in the mid-40s. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granello, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Take the car to Bucky's Auto Service Centers with 16 locations. Been around for 50 years. It's a pretty simple choice you have to make as a car owner. Take the car to Bucky's. If it's, not running right, or just park it somewhere and settle, hope somebody steals it. Wait about 10 minutes. Buggy's Auto Service Centers. By the way, thanks to the folks at Allstate for deciding that my motorcycle was beyond repair, and they bought it back from me after it was stolen.
Yes. That's great news.
$12,533 check will be sent to you.
That's even a little more than you thought.
I thought, yeah. It's like, what can you do with that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they could fix it. So the morons that stole the thing. Here's a weird part. They've got video of it. The apartment building has video of it. They sent it to the cops. And I said, I want to see it. I want to see how they stole it. I want to see who the jerky guy was that got on the bike and rode it away.
Yeah.
And they won't show it to me. Why would they show that to me?
I think it's just a liability thing in case you decide to go rogue and, chase down the perp and deal with it yourself.
I'm not going to chase him down. I just want to see what he looks like. That's all.
I know. I'm not saying it's right.
Well,
I think that's why.
Anyway, again, thanks to Allstate for
I thought it was State Farm.
It's whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't know what it is. Whatever. Pay them the money. They take the thing. So they get it back. So if you want to buy a motorcycle that was perfectly good condition other than about $5,000 worth of damage, I don't know what they do with those things after they take it back.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, was it actual? Did they describe the damage?
Yeah, they give me a whole list of all the stuff that need to be repaired on it.
What was the
windshield damage, some damage to the tires, the exhaust pipe was scratched and dented as well. Just a few things like that, but it all adds up pretty quickly.
I wonder what the point was.
The point of what?
Just a joyride? Taking it. It's not typically, they steal like a Honda or something. They crash it through a smoke shop or a weed
tie
store.
it to the back of an ATM machine or something like that. I don't know, Joe.
I don't know what
Why do people do things they did? It's not their bike. They shouldn't steal it, but they stole it. So anyway, check coming in the mail.
Are you saying all the damage was cosmetic, or was there any mechanical problems?
The windshield was cracked, and a few other things. Just mostly, I guess, cosmetic. It wasn't, they didn't. I don't know if they hurt the engine at all, but anyway, there they go. Or take the car to Bucky's Auto Service Centers. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. All righty. Well, the ongoing big story out of Minnesota is that apparently there's a whole bunch of daycare centers there that run by Somalis. And I don't know if anybody knew about it, but they would apply for a daycare license, then they would set the thing up, and then they would get taxpayer money to be able to educate these kids that were supposed to be in these daycare centers. That turned out, a lot of them turned out to be fraud. And then also there were a whole bunch of folks in the Somali community who were also setting up sort of healthcare areas or medical areas. Money coming in from the taxpayers for all of that. This citizen journalist, Nick Shirley, decided he would go around. He's been sort of following this story for a while. He starts investigating it. The thing blows up. The video goes to the White House. The FBI has now moved in there. He was, asked a neighbor with the daycare center, received $1 million in taxpayer fund every year since the opening, yet no one has ever seen anybody go in there. Here's Nick's
You ever seen children at that daycare center right there? Where? Yeah, it's right there. It says the child. You've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody in there.
We're going to educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know, where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that
seen
here.
a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've
8
never
years.
seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
Come on, get the guy to say something.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. That's all he got out of him. All right.
But there are hundreds of these, right?
Yeah.
That's
what happened was, they set it up. Nobody checks on it. And then if you did check on it, someone's, oh, you're anti-Semitic. You're Islamophobe. You're racist. You're something. You're horrible. So everyone's just let it go. Nobody said anything. And apparently, they think the fraud is close to, if not more than, $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then they think they're able to sort of track some of this. They think some of that money went to overseas to terrorist organizations. So the governor, Tim Walz, you may remember him. So he's at a press conference and he says,
I think what the president did was elevated. I do believe, and I will fully own this, we should have been keeping Minnesotans more up to speed on what was happening. We should have been, I think, on a better cadence as you see things that were happening in 2022, as the tools that were given to the administration would get there. So again, after the fact, there was a lot of folks talk about this. I have 7 years of proving this. I just fixed these things. And should we have fixed MNLARS before it got there? Certainly. Certainly we shouldn't have gone through 10 years of trying to get a licensing system. But once we got there, once we figured it out, we fixed it. And I think that's true.
Yeah, 10 years later. And possibly billions of dollars in fraud. So now what they're trying to figure out is, was Walz aware of this? Did he know anything about it? Did anybody know anything about it? And did they not do anything about it because they were afraid of being considered, be called a racist? One of these press conferences, Tim Walz refers to Nick Shirley as a racist.
Right.
Because he's bringing all this sort of stuff up. So now the FBI is moving in, finding all the files, and they find out that they were easily setting these things up and just defrauding the taxpayers and just taking the money, millions of dollars, and how many of these daycare centers that were set up by the Somali folks, and just ripping them off because nobody wants to say anything because you don't say anything. And they decided they're going to dig in and find out about Omar, right? That Representative Omar, somebody says her value now, that in 1 year, she's now got $30 million. Her fortune explodes to $30 million in 2024. She says it's ridiculous and categorically false. She says she's only worth $1 million, maybe a couple $1 million. Her husband, political consultant, accumulated some money. He had a company that was only worth about $51,000, but somehow she now has anywhere between $6 million and $30 million. They're wondering where that money came from. So now what's happening here in Washington, there's 539 daycare centers that were, if you're Somali, you send your kid there. So now there's a sort of another citizen journalist. We're trying to get her on the air. You reached out to her. How'd you find her, Joe?
On Twitter.
Okay, there you all are there. So she's decided she wants to look into Washington state daycare centers to see if the same thing happened in Minnesota happened here. I would imagine that if you can do it in Minnesota and you can do it in Florida, because they find some of the same stuff happening in Florida, you would probably be able to do it in Washington as well. Because, again, if it's one of these things where nobody wants to look and nobody wants to really say anything because they don't want to be accused of being a racist, then you look the other way. And then the people that are taking advantage of the system like that they can use that cudgel of the R word to drop it on somebody. So we hopefully will get in touch with her. We'll see what she finds, if she finds anything at all.
She did find that of those, 539 or so, where Somali is the primary language that they speak there, a good percentage of them, I don't know exactly what percent, don't have addresses listed and are kind of cagey about where they're located, which that's kind of raising the same red flags that some of these in Minnesota did.
Huh. All right. Well, there we go. We'll see what that story is on that one. I was looking up to see, there's this thing called We Are Washington, or We Are Washington. I think that's the name of the new group. So Jesse Jones, we should get him on the air. Yeah. So Jesse Jones used to be at King and then went over to KIRO 7, did all that great consumer work. Then he got hired now by Bob Ferguson, and they've got 10 people in their department, and their job is they're treating taxpayers like customers and making sure you're getting good service from the government. And they're in there, making sure that, you're getting emails responded back to. I want to find out from Jesse, because I think they set this thing up about this February of last year. How's it going? Have you rooted out any of this kind of stuff? Are you serving the taxpayers? Are we, the customers, being well served by the state of Washington?
But they are funded by the state of Washington, right?
Yeah, but they're not like the ombudsman where they would go in there and root these things out. I think listen, I've known Jesse for a long time, but I wonder what do you actually do? What do you accomplish? I'm not saying him as an individual. I'm just getting into the government and you're going to find stuff that's wrong.
They're supposed to be like a mini Doge, right?
I don't know, but yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Or just doing the sort of stuff Jesse does. Go there and find out. Jesse Jones, K5 News. And find out you said you changed the guy's brakes, but you didn't change his brakes. I can't imagine the government and the government employees ratting each other out on anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the fox guarding the chicken coop.
Checks all come from the same bank.
Wow, look at you, Joe.
Jesse Jones.
K5 News. I got a funny story about him.
I'd like to hear it.
Can I save it?
No, let's hear it.
No,
I can't, Nate. You got to
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Do true traffic. Yeah.
Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both looking excellent today. Just 35 minutes for both trips. North of Linwood, that freeway is wide open all the way to Canada. South 5 into Seattle, you're going to jam up in the U District down to I-90, 25 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. South 405, bumper to bumper from Southeast 8th to 112th in Newcastle. This is the only backup on 405 this afternoon. Bellevue to Renton's at 25 minutes. Our lake bridges remain all clear. Tacoma to Olympia, we're down just a few minutes to 50 minutes. We do have a new crash, though. South 5 at State Route 16. It's taking up your right lane. This is just past the exit to 16. And, of course, Highway 2 reopened this morning east of the Summit between Stevens Pass and Leavenworth. That 20-mile stretch, though, between the Summit and Coles Corner, drivers are alternating through a single lane via a pilot car with restricted hours between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So they're going to close that here in a little over an hour. Tomorrow morning around 11, Governor Ferguson will have an update on when Highway 2 west of the Summit might reopen. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
The Mukilteo Ferry Dock is only 5 years old, but it already needs some repairs. Coming up in the final choke point of 2025, we'll look at why the repairs are necessary and what it's going to do to your trip between Mukilteo and Clinton. That's tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hurd-Garris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
Home Comfort Alliance installs the most dependable home comfort solutions, including Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning systems. Call the comfort people, homecomfortalliance.com.
1-888-973-5476. All welcome, by the way. So as our psychics are coming on confirmed on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, yes, New Year's.
So like predictions for 2026, plus also if you've got questions for our psychics, they can do it over the phone, I think.
They can.
Okay. And, you know, you got to have an open mind on this sort of stuff. You can't come in like, you know, just be curious and open to the fact that they may or may not have this ability. And then if you got questions for them, we'll do that on, and if you want to send them to us now, you can do that. And then we'll call you and get you on the air. They have to hear you, right?
I think that helps. I don't think they have to, but it's preferred. It makes it more fun.
And then we always get text message from people telling us that Satan gives them this power.
Do we?
I do.
Oh.
Get those calls from Phil.
Well, that's fun.
I was just mentioning Jesse Jones. I met Jesse for the first time at King 5, 20-some years ago or something. They had come in from Baltimore. I think he came in from Baltimore. I think WMAL might have been the station he was working there. And I saw him in the hallway this first time I ran into him, and I said to him, you got to be from the East Coast. How do you know that? I said, because you're the only one doing sign-offs like they do East Coast sign-offs. Yeah. Back in Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, the anchor or the reporters would be out in the field when they go to throw it back. You know, I'm Sandy Starobin, NBC News, Harrisburg. They all had their own like way to throw back, right? And it was something that people on the West Coast were not used to. So when I saw him the first time, I was like, I'm Jesse Jones, King 5 News. I was like, that guy's from the East Coast. He's like, yeah. I said, man, you are really, that sign off, it's pretty crazy. He goes, man, I'm just getting started. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, what are they going to say to me? What do you say to me? He goes, don't do that. I was like, they're not going to say that to you. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then people knew him for Jesse Jones.
Jesse Jones.
Jesse Jones. I was like, yeah, there you go. Here's his out cue because he left King. KIRO 7 picked him up because he's a really good reporter. People love him. He's really good at what he does. So then 7 picks him up. Is this the first time he's on 7?
First sign out on 7.
Hey, Jesse, I want to ask you something. You know, so many people know you for your out cue in the news business. That's how we sign off from our live reports. We call them an out cue in the inside news world. So what is...
Oh, my God. This is such a setup. Such a setup.
Yeah.
Your new out cue?
Jesse Jones, KIRO 7, Eyewitness News.
Crushed it. Nailed it.
Nice.
All right, Jesse Jones.
There you go.
And top
there
five.
you go.
Yeah, it's funny because when I met him for the first time, I'm like, yeah, this guy, people are really going to be thrown by that. I love it because it reminded me of being back on the East Coast. Yeah, but then he just got longer and longer and longer. Jesse Jones doing that, right? People are like, yeah, knock it away. Let's get him. See if we get him on the come on because he's got a new job. He's working for got this back in February. I want to see what they're doing because they're supposed to be in there making sure that the customer, they're like, oh, now the taxpayer is the customer. Are you getting good service for the money that you're spending for the state of Washington?
Which is a good idea, right? I mean, that makes sense.
Sure.
We are the customer, technically.
Yeah. Are you getting good service? Do you think all the money you're spending, you're getting good service from the government? All right. Let's check Nate. Nate's got service for us, although Nate tries to throw it back to us because he doesn't have any news. So,
do you hear what he said about us in that promo?
No.
Oh,
that how hard it is to work with us in the afternoon?
Yeah.
We heard you ratting us out.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just reading the script that was handed to me.
Come on.
All right.
You're going to hear it after the report here. It's coming up here.
Here it is. It comes in here.
Up in Linwood, we've got a new collision. It's North 5 at 44th, blocking 2 left lanes. You're backed up bumper to bumper to State Route 104, Seattle to Linwood, pushing a half hour now. This is our only collision on the map. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes, but it's packed in the U District down to I-90. North 5 is heavy from the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 405 still thick at Southeast 8th there in Bellevue down to 112th in Newcastle. Bellevue to Renton's a 25-minute commute. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, you're doing good. Just a half hour to make the entire trek there. Tacoma to Olympia, 50 minutes. We cleared that crash at State Route 16, so that's out of your way. A little crowded through South Tacoma. Still got a few miles of a backup through JBLM and more slowing as you head into Olympia. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Hey, this is Sully.
This is Nate.
And we're from the traffic desk, as you know. I get you to work in the morning.
I try to get you home in the afternoon.
Yeah, try is right. A little harder in the afternoon, I've noticed, when I fill in for you than in the mornings.
Yeah. Well, it's the people I work with, I think.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That was on the
this time
card.
of year, I want to tell you how much we kind of feel honored to do what we can to help you guys out. Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
From the whole team at mynorthwest.com and KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
For 50 seasons,
sold out Kingdome as the Seahawks get ready to go down on the field.
when it comes to passion,
The blitz is on, the ball pops loose, picks it up in the 15 to the 10 to 5, touchdown Seahawks!
and noise,
Make a little noise. He's resetting his running backs. Penalty flags all over the place. They're going to blow the play dead.
dedication. It's always the 12s, celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football. Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks! Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's a heavyweight fight. Winner of the game wins the division. Winner is the #1 seed.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers. Saturday, kickoff at 5.
On KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Between all the holiday parties,
Weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO News Radio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. If you own firearms, it's your responsibility to make sure they're always stored safely. Hiding them in a closet or drawer is not enough. Kids know where they are. Research shows the risk of injury and death is lower if guns are stored unloaded and locked up, with the ammunition locked in a separate place. This is important when children are young, as well as when they grow into teenagers. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says Hamas must disarm very soon.
If they don't disarm, as they agreed to do, they agreed to it, and then they'll be held to pay for them. And we don't want that.
Trump says the next phase of the Gaza peace plan could move forward quickly if Hamas disarms. His comments come during a meeting at Mar-a-Lago with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who says he considers Trump a true friend.
I think we have a partnership second to none. I think it's allowed us to do enormous things.
On another note, President Trump vows to eradicate any new buildup of Iranian weapons months after U.S. and Israeli airstrikes on the Islamic Republic. A top political advisor to Iran's supreme leader says aggression will be met with immediate harsh response. The president has mentioned a strike in Venezuela. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
This appears to be the first known strike inside Venezuela. The president said it was on a major dock area where drugs are loaded up, but didn't say when it happened or where exactly. Neither the White House nor the Pentagon have responded to requests for more details.
Also, U.S. Southern Command says 2 people are dead after a strike on a vessel traveling along known narco-trafficking routes in the eastern Pacific Ocean and engaged in drug operations. The man accused of planting a pipe bomb outside both the DNC and RNC headquarters on the eve of the U.S. Capitol riot gave a detailed confession after he was arrested. Federal prosecutors also say Brian Cole Jr. had concerns over the 2020 election. CBS's Scott McFarland.
He has not entered a plea in this case. He has not had a chance to say his piece. In the charging documents, the feds allege that Brian Cole told them he had no connection to January 6th, that it was not related to that, but that he put the pipe bombs outside at night because he didn't want anybody to die.
Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilis McCormick declares her innocence after a brief appearance outside a Miami federal courthouse where her arraignment on charges of conspiring to steal millions of dollars in FEMA COVID funds has been postponed until January 20th.
We look forward to our day in court so we can prove our innocence. A lot has been said about what was done, but it was never done. There's no place ever in my life where I was ever accused of anything.
CBS's Jesse Mitchell on the top earners at the box office over the holiday weekend.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is burning up the Christmas box office with $88 million in ticket sales over the 4-day weekend. Marty Supreme smashed expectations with the Timothée Chalamet-led indie biopic picking up $27 million for its extended weekend debut, and Zootopia 2 continued its blockbuster run with another $25 million in sales.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, suspect in a brutal random attack in downtown Seattle enters a plea. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Relatively light volumes out there today. We do have a big collision heading through Linwood, though. North 5 at 44th. Takes up 2 left lanes. You're backed up bumper to Northeast 185th and Shoreline. Seattle to Linwood has spiked to 40 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, less than 20 minutes. Just a little crowded through Kirkland and Totem Lake. Coming the other way, Linwood to Seattle, we're down to 20 minutes. All of that slowing is from the U District down to I-90. North 5 in Seattle, you're heavy from the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 405 still thick at Southeast 8th to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Renton's a 25-minute drive. Tacoma to Olympia, 50 minutes. A little crowded through South Tacoma. Got about a 3-mile backup through JBLM. More slowing as you head into Olympia. Over in South Hill, westbound 512 is heavy from the South Hill curve over to Canyon Park. I think this is just volume. And we've got some 1-hour wait for drivers at a few of our terminals. The Point Defiance, the Mukilteo, and now the Bainbridge Island Terminal all have 1-hour wait for drivers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granello. A judge says a man accused of a vicious attack on a 75-year-old woman in downtown Seattle is fit to stand trial. Prosecutors accuse 42-year-old Fale Peya of hitting that victim in the face with a wooden board that had a metal screw sticking out of it. Police body camera video from the incident showing officers know Peya well.
Do you have the suspect's ID?
Yeah, suspect's ID. He's being searched right now. Yeah. You know him?
Oh, he's notorious for random assaults on 3rd Street.
The attack along 3rd Avenue blinded that victim in one eye earlier this month. Peya pleaded not guilty today after a mental health evaluation cleared him for trial. Deputies opened fire in the Puyallup South Hill area early this morning, killing a man near his vehicle. Pierce County Sheriff's Office says deputies tried to contact the man after neighbors claimed he fired a single gunshot outside of their home. More from KIRO 7 TV's Runji Sinha.
For Deborah Jones-Allen, who lives a block from the shooting scene, it's another incident in a string that have made her feel unsafe in this neighborhood.
I have been concerned about, let's just say, interesting individuals that walk back and forth down the street.
I did see the body, and it was a good distance away from the vehicle, about half a block. Investigators did not say how it ended up there. Deputies did try to save the man's life, but weren't able to, and he died at the scene.
Pierce County Force Investigation Team has taken over that case. A woman was found dead after an apartment fire in Linwood last night. South County Fire says more than 70 firefighters battled those flames. They spread from the first to second floors with icy roof conditions, making that job even more difficult. 8 units near Highway 99 and 44th Avenue West were damaged, displacing 20 people, including 10 kids. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. First round playoff bye will be on the line when the Seahawks play the 49ers on the road. Head coach Mike McDonald on 710 Seattle Sports when asked about the game being played on a Saturday night.
Whatever. Yeah, when's the game? Let's go put together a plan. Let's go.
One more Seahawks victory gives them the number 1 seed and home field advantage in the playoffs. Saturday's kickoff set for 5 p.m. here on KIRO News Radio. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A couple of dry days in store. Highs each day in the mid-40s and overnight lows in the mid-30s. Right now, 44 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granello, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Due to the graphic nature of the following program, there may be certain scenes that are not suitable for some members of our viewing audience, like wusses and little wimps and weenies.
Thank you, Pat Cashman. There we go. Getting started with the John Curley Show, everybody. Here we go. On a Monday. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. What's wrong, Joe?
Jim just disappeared, but I think he'll be back.
He'll be back. Hang on, Daniel. Stop. I'm going to dive into the news. There's a giant pool here full of water. I'm going to dive into it. Diving into the news! See on the camera, you can't see how far you're going. coming back?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Let's get him here. I got to tell you, I'm all fired up to talk to Walsh.
No taxes, strong roots, parents stand tall. When common sense is cornered, he answers the call. Chairman Walsh from the fighting 19th. Jim Walsh won't let Washington fall.
All right, Walsh.
That's rousing, John. That's rousing, although it sounds a little like Chairman Mao, but okay.
Okay,
fine.
really? Is that how you're going to start out? Because I can tell you something, Walsh. Every time I read some of the stuff coming out of Olympia, we're going to do this, more taxes, this and that and this. I'm like, where are the Republicans? Where are the independents? Why don't we have a voice? Why don't we have a voice? When you have the trifecta, and this happens in all states, you know this, if Republicans are all in charge, if you have the Republicans all taking over, they got all three positions, you got the House, got the Senate, got the governor, it's not good. Same thing in Washington. Here we've had for the longest time. They now control the board. They not only control the board, they seem to also control the rules. Like you're playing a board game, you flip over, you go, well, no, actually, you got a roll of 5 to get out. It seems the Democrats like, well, those are the old rules. We don't need those anymore. So I'm like, Jim, can't you get anybody from the Republican side to actually win in the state of Washington?
Well, we're winning all the time.
We're winning all the time? Wait, why?
Well, we've got a couple of initiatives. At least one or two of them are going to get qualified, and we'll be talking about not letting boys play in girls' sports and restoring the Parents' Bill of Rights. Look, we've got the winning hand in the rule book you talk about. In the Washington State Constitution, Article 7 describes how tax policy is supposed to work. It's why I love Washington, John. It's why I love our state's constitution. It is better about tax policy, the Constitution, our state constitution, talking about how taxes work than the federal Constitution is. Very clear that what the current governor is mumbling about and whining about in Olympia, this millionaire's income tax, is unconstitutional. It is illegal. It's a dumb idea. I don't know if he knows it's a dumb idea or not, but he's giving in to the worst minds on his side of this political spectrum. And God bless us, we've got the Constitution on our side.
But isn't this the same Washington State Constitution that the Washington Supreme Court looked at and ruled 7-2 that somehow, although the IRS sees capital gains as income, and when you do fill out your IRS form, you put down your capital gains as income. But then in a 7-2 ruling, somehow the Washington Supreme Court, I'm sure they had a copy of our Constitution, suddenly came up with this idea. Well, let's call it an excise tax, because if we call it an excise tax, then we can tax it. So there was sort of a Humpty Dumpty ruling. Well, the words are whatever you want them to make them say they are. And so you had a 7-2 ruling when they had the Constitution in front of them. They were able to get capital gains seen as an excise tax. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in somebody reading through the Constitution if this thing goes to the Supreme Court. And by the way, we'll get Jim back on. I'm going to play this from State's Senator. This is Jamie Peterson talking about the Constitution and whether or not for the tax on millionaires.
That's all workarounds because we have the constitutional prohibition on an income tax, right?
Well, we don't have. So let's be really precise about this. We don't have a constitutional prohibition on an income tax. What we have is.
Is that true, Jim? We don't have a prohibition on an income tax? Where's Walsh?
He's gone again.
Hang on.
2 restrictions on property tax that are built into our Constitution. One that says that property taxes have to be imposed uniformly across a class of income, or across a class of property, and a second that says that property taxes cannot exceed 1%. Now, 90 plus years ago, when the whole idea of an income tax was very new, the federal income tax had been in effect only for 18 years. Our state Supreme Court decided that income was a form of property, and therefore the constitutional restrictions on property tax applied to income tax. So we could have a flat 1% income tax no problem. There's no question that we could have an income tax. It just doesn't raise very much money, and it probably wouldn't be super popular.
Walsh, what do you say? Did you hear all that? You've heard Peterson before, haven't you? So the 1933 decision, the landmark, a case in Washington State Supreme Court ruled that a person's income is considered property for tax purposes. The state's constitutional mandate that all property be taxed uniformly within its class, effectively making a graduated progressive income tax unconstitutional without a constitutional amendment. Voters have rejected the income tax, I think, 8 times or something. Every time it's brought up, they normally kick it out and say, no, we're not going to have it. But in this case, it looks like the governor's saying, well, let's look at this millionaire tax. And this is Peterson saying, well, it's somehow he's saying, well, we can get in there. It's not really about income. It's about property. Did you hear the cut from him, Jim? I know we lost you for a second there. Jim Walsh, can you hear me? Can you get him up there? Oh, all right. He's delayed. Is that a nice way of saying something else?
They're making really silly arguments.
Okay.
Their arguments are just goofy. They can try to cram through some harebrained misreading of the Constitution of Article 7, Section 1, and they can do what they tried to do with the capital gains tax. But at some point, the state Supreme Court is going to not be able to twist the law like a pretzel to make these bad ideas stick. And we're going to have to challenge the state Supreme Court's failure in the federal court system.
In the federal court system, would that go to the 9th? Is that where that goes, Jim, to the 9th? A bit of delay here. Who would hear that case in the federal court? 9th Circuit? We lose Jim again? Be nice if we actually had a radio show that could do video. Yeah. By the way, I'll play this other cut. This is more from Peterson explaining,
And, right. The Democrats, your party, I think you yourself voted to ban income taxes after the Let's Go Washington initiative.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was, what did Mary Poppins call that? A pie crust promise, right? Easily made, easily broken. Like, as we put that language into statute, and we can amend it anytime that we want to, right? So I wouldn't take that super seriously. If we find that we need to tweak that, we'll just tweak it, right?
Oh my God.
And so the other way that I mentioned, a couple of ways that we're different from the vast majority of other states. The other way that we're different from the vast majority.
The other way we're different is the fact that we can say one thing knowing that we don't really believe it, knowing that we can change it later on. We'll make some promise, but then we'll break it later on, like pie crust that we got from Mary Poppins. So this idea, here, the amazing thing to me, hopefully we got Jim back. Jim, did you hear some of what Peterson had said about it's a pie crust thing? It's like a Mary Poppins thing. We can easily break it later on. We can say one thing, but we'll switch it later on. We can easily amend it and move the words around and get what we want.
Yeah, it's nonsense. And Senator Peterson knows better. So I'm beginning to question whether the current governor knows better, but I think Peterson knows better. This is sophistry. This is mendacity. This is misleading what the law and the Constitution says. And at some point, we're going to need to get these issues, these challenges, these debates out of the state court system, which just is not capable of looking at the law in a serious and objective way, and into the federal court system. And John, this is where this so-called dormant commerce clause comes in. It's discussed in the U.S. Constitution. So far, the federal courts have been very hesitant to take on state tax policy issues.
Right.
And rightly so. But this nonsense coming up from Senator Peterson, and at least he's somewhat persuasive in his deceit. The governor has completely lost the thread of this. He can't even talk about this stuff in a coherent way. And they're just counting on a captured state Supreme Court to twist the law into a pretzel like it did on the capital gains tax and make these absurd conclusions. So we've got to push the issue to federal courts. And I think a combination of the equal protection language in the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and this dormant commerce clause that might be able to get this issue into the federal courts. But it's tough. The federal courts have been resistant to look at this, and really they just say, if you guys are dumb enough to elect these people, then you're going to have to deal with the consequences. But that's punishing people, John. That's wrecking our economy, and we have to fight back more aggressively.
Well, I think the governor sort of reading the tea leaves, and I saw the piece that Danny Westmead had in the Seattle Times saying, I think, people are now okay with the idea of taxing millionaires. It would be they let you make $1 million, but the next dollar after that will be taxed at 9.9%, which you call it 10%. So every dollar after the $1 million will go to the state so that the state can provide all the great services that it continues to provide. So then you read that every 29 minutes, another person moves out of the state of Washington. This does wreck the economy. And then you can see other pieces in the Seattle Times. Do rich people really leave the state when taxes go up? And then they go to a liberal think tank and they come back with, nope, it looks like the data shows that people don't leave. Rich people don't leave when the taxes go up. I don't know where they get that, because you can go to some other website and find somebody else that says, no, actually, rich people leave the state. If the taxes are too high, they choose to go to Texas or Florida. You can just look at the migration from California. Washington has picked up a small percentage of population has moved in. But just
Even Peterson said in that same interview, he said the wealth tax will cause these guys to leave. They'll change their primary domicile from Washington to any other state because it's that easy for them to do. And our wealth tax is twice what the next state is, which is Hawaii.
Right. But this is the millionaire tax. So I think the governor realizes, hey, you know what? Maybe people have sort of softened up and we got to get the rich people to pay their fair share. And we've got all these problems. We don't have enough money coming in. So we're so desperate for all these programs. So we need to keep the state going. So let's get the people that aren't paying their fair share for this sort of thing. Jim, I got to tell you something. If you take it to the U.S. District Court there, the Western District in Washington that handles this, the federal court, I don't know necessarily whether they'll kick it back again. And like you say, well, you elected these people. This is what they want. This is what you want. So here comes the millionaire tax. And I don't know how many people would be willing to defend, quote unquote, millionaires that don't pay their fair share. So this seems like they're going to be able to steamroll this one right in. We keep losing Jim, but hopefully he gets a chance to hear some of this sort of stuff. Does he come back for one more time?
I think
he keeps appearing and disappearing. He's like a ghost. Like a ghost.
All right, last
time. There we go. I'm back again. Yeah. All right. So, Walsh, say something encouraging that if this thing does go to the U.S. District Court there, that they may actually see, you mentioned the 14th and some other, I guess, handholds or footholds that you might be able to have them rule in favor of respecting our Constitution, the state of Washington, that you can't have this millionaire tax in place.
We're gonna win this fight, John. This is a bridge too far. Even Jamie Peterson can't explain this. He undermines the governor's argument and what he's saying, because this is nonsense. The governor's position is flagrant and unconstitutional. So, we're losing taxpayers in this state about one every half hour. And we can't continue to do that or we're going to wreck our economy. And so really...
All right. Well, eventually we'll...
we got it.
Yeah, eventually we'll figure that out. Yeah. Again, if they want to do video on KIRO Radio and they want to have interviews on KIRO Radio, no.
Don't blame us for that one.
Who do we blame on this one?
I think it's Jim's internet. He's out on the shore. So.
Oh, is that where he is? He's out on the shore relaxing. Okay.
He's at Ocean Shores. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's back for the last thing. Jim, here's the amazing thing. The government can't solve the homeless problem, but somehow they're going to decrease the temperature of the earth. And I see that the governor has said, we're going to take some of the money from the CCA, the Climate Commitment Act, and we're going to use that to fill some of the budget holes. I'm afraid that the earth is going to boil alive when we take that money from the CCA that's doing such great work to reduce the earth temperature, and we're going to put the money into other funds because they don't have enough money. And as you always like to say, it's not a revenue problem, it's a spending problem, right?
And this is proof of that. Stealing from Peter to pay Paul in a way that the previous governor plainly said they wouldn't do, they're doing now. I mean, this is nuts. You heard these interviews. I mean, we got them to agree that we wouldn't, with Initiative 2111, that we wouldn't have a state income tax, and now they're doing what they said they wouldn't do then. They said it was okay to pass that initiative, barring a state income tax, because we were never going to have one here. This is the end of the road for these people, John. It's the end of the road.
But you say that, Jim, but then they take money from the road department and they build more roads, and they tend to keep going with this stuff.
Well, if they were building roads, everybody would be happier. They take money from the road department and they build bike lanes and animal overpasses. Get back to building roads.
Hey, they're building an animal overpass over near where I live. They're building another one on I-90. Did you see that?
I wish they were fixing the West Seattle Bridge instead, John.
Wow.
But whatever.
All right. Okay.
Listen, this is too far. It's too much. And even the reasonable, middle-of-the-road Issaquah soccer mom is beginning to see it. We just need to move this rock faster. That's the challenge, John.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. We'll take you out again with your song that you think sounds a little like something from Russia from the 50s.
When common sense is cornered, he answers the call.
There goes Jim Walsh. He's answering the call intermittently.
From the fighting 19th, Jim Walsh won't let Washington fall.
There he goes. There he's back. All right, Walsh. Have a happy new year. Go get him. Ba-bum. All right, here comes Nathan checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Linwood, we're still dealing with a collision north 5 at 44th, blocking the HOV lane, but we have opened up a lane. You're backed up to 175th there in Shoreline. Seattle to Linwood, still hovering at a 40-minute commute. Bellevue to Linwood, just 20 minutes. North of Linwood, both directions of 5-5 are all clear. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 20 to 25 minutes. It's slow from the U District to I-90. Our lake bridges are clear. South 405 now slow from South Bellevue into Renton, but once you get past Cold Creek Parkway, you're pretty much at freeway speed. So Bellevue to Renton, right around 20 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, we've improved a 40-minute trip. And in South Tacoma, all lanes have reopened on South Tacoma Way at South 66th, where an earlier investigation had this intersection shut down for a couple hours. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Charbonnet breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Setting up the biggest game of the season.
A critical, huge NFC West battle against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's a heavyweight fight. Winner of the game wins the division. Winner is the number 1 seed.
Holy catfish!
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Let's go do it. Let's go rip it.
Seahawks 49ers. Saturday, kickoff at 5.
On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
When someone hears the words, "You have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. Friends, families, and coworkers form a community of hope, raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, we walk with lanterns held high to light the path to cures. Last year alone, the FDA approved 18 new drug therapies and treatments to treat blood cancers. The impact of LLS-supported research goes beyond blood cancer. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. We should learn more tomorrow about plans to reopen the western side of Highway 2 that was badly damaged by those recent floodwaters. Governor Bob Ferguson says he'll give an update tomorrow at 11:15. This morning, the state reopened the eastern side of Highway 2 between Leavenworth and Stevens Pass.
And Stevens Pass can open for skiing, which is also extremely good news.
For now, a pilot car is escorting drivers on one-way trips from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Federal agents are in Minneapolis, part of an investigation into possible fraud. There are concerns that billions of dollars in Medicaid money was misspent. CBS News Minnesota reporter Jonah Kaplan has more.
According to federal investigators, the amount of money that was spent on these 14 programs, $18 billion since 2018. Now, is that all fraud? No. But how much of it? That's what they're going to be digging into.
Federal agents examined more than 30 sites just today. Check your freezer. Some ground beef sold here in Washington is being recalled over E. coli concerns. Details from CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Mountain West Food Group is recalling nearly 3,000 pounds of raw ground beef products because the meat could be contaminated with E. coli. The recall includes 16-ounce packages of Forward Farms grass-fed ground beef, which were sent to distributors in at least 6 states. The Department of Agriculture says no illnesses have been reported so far. Anyone with the recalled ground beef should throw it away or return it to the place of purchase for a refund.
You will soon be able to drive on MLK Jr. Way all the way from Seattle to Kent. State Transportation Commission voted to make the move to stretch that roadway onto Highway 515. Local leaders say the extension symbolizes unity across South King County. No streets are being renamed, but more signs will be installed. At 5:32 now, we go to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
Looking pretty good out there, Aaron, and Linwood is the exception, where we have this collision, North 5 at 44th, blocking the HOV lane. It was blocking 2 lanes for a while, so this opened up a lane, but you're backed up to 155th now in Shoreline. Seattle to Linwood still hovering at 40 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, half that amount of time if you can go that route, save you some time. Your minor slowing left through Kirkland and Totem Lake to get through. Linwood to Seattle is a 20 to 25-minute trip. It's slow from the U District to I-90. North 5 heavy from the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Those lake bridges remain wide open. Southbound 405 was slow from South Bellevue into Renton. Bellevue to Renton is a 20-minute trip. North 405 is now crowded along South Center, but you'll clear by the time you hit the Valley Freeway. Tacoma to Olympia, we're at 40 minutes, and both directions of State Route 161, you're slow between Graham and South Hill. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are seeing partly cloudy skies for the next couple of days, staying dry with highs in the mid-40s, overnight lows dropping down into the mid-30s. Right now, 43 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Thank you, Aaron. All right, Teeny, sober up. We got some work to do here. Teeny, spin the wheel.
Oh, really?
Please spin the wheel.
Starting early.
Yeah. We had a weird sort of X-rated outtake on the show when you weren't here regarding Teeny. Did you hear that one?
I don't think so, no. What day?
It went sideways. I'll play for you later on.
Okay.
Nobody in management heard it. Teeny, I'm sorry. Spin the wheel again. I missed it. It landed and I just don't want it. Just spin it again, please. Wilcox playing from X-Recipe wheel spinning. The names of all the players back on the board. Its still colors are red and green. Red and green, and it lands on Aaron.
Oh,
surprise. Welcome back. Hey.
Can I make a request? Somebody
Sure.
on the text line?
Yeah.
They're looking for their go-to deviled eggs recipe, and they heard you had a good one.
Well, it's not my personal one, but I did have some deviled eggs over the Christmas break.
Wilcox deviled eggs.
Well, yeah, sure, in Arizona. Yeah, they make it down there.
Take them with you on the plane.
Take them with you. They travel well.
They do.
They do. I don't know what my aunt did, but there was some sort of like pickle juice in there almost, with some like diced relish almost in those. Yes. So add a little bit of pickling flavor in there.
Okay.
Top it maybe with some like bacon bits or something. That'd be really good. Paprika, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And your aunt's name is? We can put her on the board.
Auntie Deb.
Auntie Deb's
Auntie Deb.
deviled pickled egg.
Does she make you kiss like her skin tag or anything like that on her face?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I always had
Is that a
aunts
thing?
and uncles that you only see like once a year, and then they've got like some weird thing on their face. You're always trying to avoid that. No.
Nope.
All right.
Not me. No.
No, not you. Aunt Deb.
No. No.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Checking. It's always the thing, like your dad has good friends, so then you have to refer, then all of a sudden becomes your uncle. Did you guys do that? You're like, hey, say hi to your Uncle Bob. And you're like, how's that person my uncle? Do you have that kind of thing? Aunts and uncles that are just friends of the family, but you make them aunts and uncles?
I have kind of become Uncle Aaron to a few friends.
So that's that. There you go.
Got any skin tags?
No skin tags.
Not yet.
Right.
Come on now. You gave that weird one right in your nasal flap. All right. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that. There
Sure.
we are. I was reading some research on why people are in such good moods during the holidays. A couple of things. You could probably figure this out. One, we get a long break. And everybody has the big long break, right? So no matter where Christmas lands, luckily for everybody landing on Wednesday, gives everybody Thursday and Friday off. Then you get the weekend off. Then you're like, well, you really don't have to work as well on Monday and Tuesday. We got New Year's coming up. So you get this big long break for everyone. It works out. So you get people to get some time off. You also get family and friends together. The music itself that you hear played constantly brings people back to memories that they had, good times when they were kids. And all of this stuff works works together, including going out and shopping for somebody and finding a gift for somebody and thinking, well, they'd like that. I thought of them and they would enjoy this gift. And then you wrap the gift and you take the time to make it special for someone. Plus, also, apparently they did a whole study of dopamine in people's brains. Christmas lights add a tremendous amount of dopamine. So you see the lights lit up at the darkest time of the year, and it just brings some joy to people's lives. So all of these things together end up creating emotional energy. That's what it's known as. And it makes this time of year extra special for people. My mom, who had a very soft spot for old folks, she used to go to nursing homes and she would volunteer at nursing homes. She was a cartoonist and she would do cartoons of people. She would also tell stories for them. And one Christmas, she felt that we weren't very appreciative of all the great things that we had being born to the family that we had. So she decided that that year we would go out dressed up in our best Christmas outfits, and I would recite the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and then we would sing Christmas carols for all the old folks that were all kind of just folded up in their wheelchairs sitting there in front of us. We had to visit 3 different nursing homes. And the thing about it is when you're a little kid and you're singing and your mom's standing there and the 3 of us are singing some of these Christmas carols, not the best. We weren't exactly choir kids. But you get old people that are in the back, a lot of them with dementia. We didn't know anything about dementia or, anybody suffering. The old expression was, that person's kind of losing their marbles. So we were at this one nursing home. I was the second one we went to, and there was this lady, 3rd, 4th row back in the wheelchair. She's sitting there all kind of slumped over. And every once in a while, she's like, hey, it's awful. This is awful. Barry, this is awful. God rest ye merry gentle. This is awful.
They're going to sue you.
This is terrible. We were crushed. My mom kept poking us to keep going with the rest of the song. And then we get in the car, and she's like, no, she wasn't talking about you guys. She was talking about the food. The food is awful there. She didn't have a problem with you guys. Then going on to the next one. We did 3 of them, and then it was my brother, my sister. I can't remember who was just crying in the car and refusing to go to the next one. So my mom went in and did cartoons for people, drawing cartoons for folks.
Really?
And they were all kind of looked the same. Just really old, wrinkly people. She's like, do you have a favorite sport? What? Do you have a favorite sport? You're like, I don't play any sports. She's like, okay. Do you have any hobbies? Because she tried to draw that in. I played tennis once. So my mom would do the cartoon of the person with the big tennis racket.
I play pickleball sometimes.
Okay, we'll do one for you too, Jacob, playing pickleball. That was some of the Christmas memories that we had as kids. And then, of course, by the time we got older and got more jaded, so my father used to go to this place and get, what was the name of that? It was a factory that would make customized shirts for golf courses. And whenever the little logo, whatever it was supposed to be, a Ronimick or White Marsh Country Club, whenever the logo would get kind of messed up, it didn't look like a horse or something, they would go into the rejection pile. And then at that point, it would go into these boxes. So this warehouse would open up maybe twice or 3 times a year, and you go in and get these shirts that are the rejects. Yeah. And we called them JoJo shirts, or I forget the other term we had for it. My father would go there and get these shirts. They were horrible looking, bad colors, big weird collars on them, and all sorts of strange stitching where the logo was supposed to be. And then one year prior to, we knew that my dad was going to be giving those to us for Christmas.
Wait, these are your Christmas gifts?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we knew, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th year, he would. I said to my brother, let's do this. When Dad, because he never wrapped them, they were all in a big bag, and he'd just throw them on the ground in front of us. And I said, Chuck, let's do this. Let's come up with a plan. So when he throws the shirts down, the JoJo shirts, which we called JoJo shirts, let's grab one of them, and then let's do that. That'd be really good. Okay, don't tell anybody. Sorry. So we get Christmas time, we're all gathering around, and we're handing out the gifts and stuff. And my dad goes, all right, I got something for the boys. And with that, he'd throw this plastic bag full of these shirts. And then he goes, hey, listen, I didn't pick out the colors. I didn't wrap them up for anybody. You guys can fight over them. Because that's what he used to say. I'll let you guys fight over the colors. Wow. So the 2 of us jump out of the chair, and grab the bag and start rolling around. And we'd pull one shirt up, and then Chuck grabbed one side of it, and I grabbed the other side of it, and we tore it to pieces. And then he goes, hey, come on now. Hey, come on, those are good shirts. They were like $3 or something like that. And Chuck said, you said we could fight over it. Yeah, I didn't mean fight over it for real. You're fighting over it. You're ruining it. And I'd pull another shirt out of the bag, and then Chuck goes, wait, I want that one. Then we'd rip that one up. And my mom at that point, she was always making declarations. That's it. No more JoJo shirts. They're not JoJo shirts. Don't call them JoJo shirts so the kids won't respect them. And people come over to our house like, what'd you guys get for Christmas? They get a bunch of JoJo shirts.
What, a bunch of half shirts?
Just crappy looking golf shirts we were supposed to have.
I love your dad so much. And your mom, too.
Oh, so many great stories, so many weird times.
I love that she made you go caroling for the old folks.
She used to go to them when then she got really old. She was in one of the nursing homes, and she had her little art kit there. And she's in the elevator, and this guy gets on the elevator, and he goes, can I help you? And she goes, oh, I'm leaving. And he goes, oh, okay, you're leaving. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going back home. But my mom was old. She was like 80 at this point, but still visiting old people and driving old people to their appointments.
Oh, they thought she lived there.
Yes, exactly. And the guy goes, okay, so where do you live? And my mom's like, oh, I live on Barclayton Circle. Uh-huh. All right. Well, why don't you come with me? And with that, he grabs her arm. Because a lot of old people try to escape those places.
They do.
And they take her downstairs to like the old person prison or something. She's like, wait a minute. I'm not a resident. I'm not a resident. They're like, yeah, sure you're not.
Sure, lady.
And she had to call Chuck. Come get me. They think I'm a resident here. Then eventually it's sad. We did put her in one of those homes. God, she hated it. And sure enough, she escaped like 3 times.
It seems like every single one of them does it.
They always try to get out.
They get out.
Yeah, God, I felt so bad seeing her in there. It's so sad. All right, here comes Nate. Checking traffic, Nate.
All right, so you'll have this collision up in Linwood, North 5 at 44th is blocking the HOV lane. Looks like they might be clearing this here any moment, though. You're backed up to 175th there in Shoreline, Seattle to Linwood, plan on 40 minutes. Linwood to Seattle's down to 20 minutes. You're slow now from the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. North 5 still heavy at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Southbound 405 slows from I-90 all the way into Renton. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're clear now. We're down to just 25 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia has improved to 35 minutes. And if you're hopping on the ferries, we've got a few terminals that have 1 hour wait for drivers, and those are the Point Defiance, the Bainbridge Island, and Mukilteo terminals. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
The Mukilteo Ferry Dock is only 5 years old, but it already needs some repairs. Coming up in the final choke point of 2025, we'll look at why the repairs are necessary and what it's going to do to your trip between Mukilteo and Clinton. That's tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
My name is Carlos, and I'm a Cub Scout. I'm here to talk to you today about becoming a scout like me. Cub Scouts get badges for doing fun activities, and we make friends. Scouts go camping, climbing, and fishing, and swimming together. We play sports and go to parades. Scouts also help people and become the best versions of themselves. Visit bascout.org to find a pack near you, get any questions answered, and sign up for Cub Scouts online.
We wish you a very Merry Christmas from the G and Ursula Show.
We're so grateful that you listen to and participate every single day.
We cannot thank you enough for how much you've been involved in our G and Ursula Show community. We cannot do the show without you.
We want you to know that you and your friends, everybody is very important and instrumental to the success of KIRO Radio. We are extremely grateful for you in 2025, but 2026 is going to be even better because of you.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Upgrade your home's comfort and save up to 75% on scratch and dent and overstock equipment at Home Comfort Alliance. Over $3 million worth of heat pumps, furnaces, and air conditioners from top manufacturers like Lennox. All now up to 75% off. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right. Let's see. Hudson, if you would like to sing a song for us regarding the mailman song.
I'm a mailman.
Uh-huh. Close enough.
I'm a mailman. It'll be mess with me.
Mess with him.
I'm a mailman. Everything new. I'm a mailman. Bring the mail to you.
Oh, so close. All right, get the letter today. First, take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dwayne from QFC says, very cool Christmas story, John. I spent Christmas with my two boys this year. First time in years we've all been together. It was a stellar day. They bought me a legit leather gun belt, and it made me cry.
Nice. Yeah, it's really amazing. It's all I want is just time with you. Yep. Chris, which is the greatest gift? If your kids love you and they want to spend time with you, you've done it right. Chris in 206 says, Nate would rather work with John or his son. Would you rather work with me, Nate, or Rye?
Is that a trick question?
No, it's just from Chris in 206.
Well, I've never worked with Rye, so I love working with you, John.
All right, well, there we go.
Backpedaling.
Yep.
Dennis in Seattle says, so you're telling me you're doing the show just for me today. Well,
Yes.
I want to thank you. Also, you're telling me that Rye sold your mini bike to Tommy down the street?
Yes.
Okay.
You could get Rye on to verify. Lance in Manchester says, listening to John Curley Show, and Teeny Tiny is drunk the entire time.
I do have my dress on backwards.
She is a functioning alcoholic.
That's right. At least she shows up. Irene in Tacoma says, during the pandemic one year, I kept my artificial tree up until late February because the lights made me feel better.
Do you know my sister never takes her tree down?
Really?
It's up year-round.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
It's weird. Creed lawsuit. Andrew in the 509 says, wife went to Bob Dylan once. She has the worst concert ever.
Yeah, I did see Dylan in like the early 2000s. And
you gotta save someone.
I might ask for my money back. Jamestown and Eastlake says, I miss the days when you used to play Nickelback.
Nickelback's coming back. Kirk and Tacoma says, well, at least when Creed went down, Nickelback stepped in quickly.
Dan and Stanward said, I left a Creed concert in Spokane because I tried to have fun, but I had to leave. It was a free ticket.
Irene in Tacoma says he doesn't sound like Cher, or he does sound like Cher.
He does sound like Cher. On Dogs in the Office, Jamestown says, why are you suspicious of dog owners? It's bird owners you should be wary of.
Yeah, Andrew. Sean in Arlington says dogs are a stinky poop machine, LOL.
Scott the Snot says, maybe have dinner where Andrew gets together with a bunch of dogs and their owners, much like the John Curley dinner with all his haters.
Yes.
I can bring my dog. He hates everyone, and so do I. Happy New Year. Love Scott the Snot, who sat on the pot and started to rot.
There you go. Jesse B says, I get what Andrew's saying, and I'm a dog person.
Thank you, Jess.
Braden in Snohomish says, Andrew, ruining it for everyone.
Yes.
I could understand if it's an aggressive dog, but if it's not very well trained, just deal with it. It's not that serious.
Yeah, sounds like you're not a very good dog trainer there, Braden.
206, maybe the poop in the trash can was Andrew's predicted dog encounter.
It was a
some things like that have happened before, yes.
Okay. Wayne and Milton said if it's the owners that's the problem, start barking at them.
There you go. And is it Rihanna?
Renna
in Arlington says, love dogs, hate dog people. Wow.
Fair enough.
Wow, she's torn.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny.
Look, it's Paul in Sammamish.
Oh, good.
He says, John, even though I don't think there's a restaurant big enough for you to accommodate all of your haters for one dinner, I do think you're an awesome dad.
I'm going to do it one at a time. Just one.
Yes.
One hater at a time.
One hater at a time.
And you have a list?
I do have a list, growing by the day.
It's Creed. Sounds like Cher. It's like this.
Wow. That's rare.
You know what's your money back for this? Look at the acoustic version he does. It's really good. Laying down. Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything. We're on swallow bound. That's all she wrote.
That's all she could have read like 8 more letters.
I know, Andrew.
Oh, man.
You're off your game. You should go get a dog to bite you. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nate,
Here I am, Linwood. We cleared that long-term crash, North 5 at 44th. All lanes are back open. You got a bit of a backup to get through still starting at 175th. Seattle to Linwood down to 35 minutes. This should start to quickly clear out at this point. Bellevue to Linwood closing in on 15 minutes. Minor slowing through Kirkland and Totem Lake. And really, those are our only backup is through Linwood right now. All of our earlier backups are quickly thinning out at this point. Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. You're slow from the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. North 5 slows at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 405 still slow from I-90 to Renton, but you're at freeway speed, so Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. And in Canyon Park, northbound 527 is bumper to bumper from 405 up to 524, and then southbound 527 jams up approaching 524. Looks like we obviously have some sort of blocking issue at that intersection. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News.